What's going on, guys? Hey, repeat back, and it is Tuesday night, and it's another Fast Family Racing League Showdown night. Tonight is uh, race number 8. Yeah, race 8. We've seen 6 before. 7 is going to be on another channel tonight. But guys, we got a lot on store tonight. We're going to be back at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be Palmetto versus the HRL NASCAR Cup Series. But before we get into all that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in old Mr. Slide Job to get things rolling. Slide Job, how are you?
I'm doing great. We got another doubleheader tonight, so I'm always feeling good on those nights.
So I
Mhm.
understand. I mean, we're coming across a lot of leagues that are starting to show in the spotlight. Like I was just telling Joker before tonight, I had never heard of Palmetto. I had never heard of HRL. I've never heard of a lot of these guys, but they're really showing what their leagues are made of, and they're really getting the job done. We've got what 6 teams that are going to go ahead and advance to round 2 so far. How's all that looking?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had some great matchups. And last night was definitely one of those nights where, if you ask people beforehand, who is Thursday Night Thunder? Who is White Lightning Racing League? Most people would say, I have no idea. But boy, did they ever put on a show. We made the joke, the storm is coming because we have thunder and lightning, and boy, did they put on a show. The battle was tight. As you mentioned, it was Atlanta. The leagues actually ended up splitting the stages, but it came down to the third stage, and boy, did the long run kick in for TNT. They ended up taking it 353 to 291. A big shout out to Dominator for WLRL with 46 points. He outscored his teammates. And Davy Jones coming home with the win and outscoring his teammates with a cool 50 points. But it was definitely a grudge match to watch. Definitely going to go back and watch that one myself. But anyway, I'm super excited for these two leagues tonight. Definitely want to see what they've got in store for us. It's definitely going to be a great one. So definitely keep watching for us.
Oh yeah, I had both streams up last night, keeping an eye on everything between um, Beast and Rick, and then I was also watching a couple others that were their own POV, and yeah, it was a lot of great racing. But tonight, yeah, again, it's gonna be Palmetto versus the HRL NASCAR Cup Series. In the booth with me is gonna be the one and only K Harvick 429 fan, normal broadcaster for eSpark, and then GRM Joker, full-time driver, I believe, for the IVRL series, if I'm not mistaken. Harvick, you ready for this?
I think so. I love Atlanta. I love places with you got a lot of tire wear, all things like that. I love my strategy. This track plays a lot into that, and there's a lot on the line right here tonight. One
Uh,
team is going home. We know that. One team is moving forward. We know that. We don't know who
y-
though.
Yep, you are 100% right. As in the previous 6 races, this is a single elimination competition. You lose once and you're out. Got to kind of redo everything for hopefully this year. The success that this has had and the following that it's had is definitely worthy. But I got to tell you, Slide Job, you, Four Tough, and a few others, all the work and time and pride that you've put into building this, it definitely shows a lot about your character. Joker, what do you think about tonight?
Well, it's definitely gonna be interesting. It's about time we change the tracks up. But tired of watching Kansas and get different track for the drivers and whatnot. It's definitely a tire killer track here. You got to learn how to save your tires up in the team that I think that works together within themselves and has the best tire strategy and the best just overall consistency is part definitely going to be the one that pulls out the W at the end of tonight.
Yeah, you're not kidding about those tires, and Slide Job and Ford Tough, they can definitely attest to multiple blown tires that we've seen since Atlanta has surfaced onto the schedule. So yeah, you're 100% right about that. In fact, I think with the wear they're running, we'd probably see them want to come down for tires long before they want to come down for fuel. Speaking of all that, the stages tonight are going to be 51, 50, 56, and 19 laps, give or take, on a round of on a tank of fuel. Excuse me. But slide job, how looking for are those guys getting qualifying, or what are they doing right now?
We are just ready to go track signed for the pre-race ceremonies, and then right after that, we'll get you some introductions and then some action at the end of qualifying, and then get you guys in the race. So with that, I'm going to leave the booth, leave it to you guys, and when you guys get an invite, go ahead and join and catch some of the action in qualifying.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And with that, that's pretty much Sly Dobb saying, yeah, you've got the go-ahead to kick it off. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please stand and remove your hats. Our national anthem, wouldn't want to get started without it. Let's pay our tribute. All right, so yeah, we are back after our national anthem. Gotta love that little video, but here we are. Man, it's gonna be a great race, Joker. Absolutely looking forward to. I watched the race last night with between Beast and I'm Rick James, and they did a phenomenal job. Looking forward to calling a race from the same track again between Palmetto and the HRL NASCAR Cup Series. And as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen is their actual roster. Before we get to that, I'm going to go over both of these leagues, kind of touch on a couple things, and then we'll go over your drivers. First off, Hatch Racing League. It's been around since about 2015. There's still a relatively small league, but they like to have a lot of fun. They run their Cup Series on Monday nights right around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and again on Friday night they run their Busch Series also around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It doesn't give any. I reached out to them to ask if they had a Twitter or something like that. They do have a Facebook, so please, by all means, look them up on Facebook. And then also Palmetto Racing League. They're a very new league. They actually just started up this February. They've got about 50 drivers, mostly preset. They run two times wear and two times fuel, 50% races. On Tuesday and Wednesday, they rotate the nights. They run Xfinity. And on Monday and Sunday and Monday, they rotate again for their truck series. They also run dirt on Thursdays, 100% feature, 4 times wear. They're almost done with season 1. They're going to be switching the Cup. They're trucks and dirt for season 2. A lot of changes are going to be made to the rules next season, including teams and drivers. We are new but focused on quality over quantity. That is a great thing to really want to focus on. And with that, Joker, do you want to take the Palmetto side of the roster?
Let's see here if I can look at your stream to get this going. Looks like we got, all right, this is like we got number 21, Zachary 7007. And we also got 00. We got Dylan Ashley 166, and the number 12 we got Shiny Tom 52. In the 16 we have Night Sniper 5. The 23 is Flyers Fan 3, and the number 25 we've got Booty Slayer 969. Number 44 we got I hope I don't get this wrong, Carline W117. And number 52 we got Josh 5893. And then number 53 we got Somalians. Number 97 we got Big Ben 0397. Number 55 substitutes are number 55 Optic Goblin 64 Phenomenal, and the number 83 E Hall 88.
Yeah, so far the substitutes they have actually been used. They've served pretty well in the first 6 races. Again, this is race number 8. This is a doubleheader night tonight. The other race is actually over with Word Burton. So if you have the capability to look up 2 channels to follow both, I definitely suggest doing that. The other race is over at Kentucky. But on the HRL, or the hatch race in the NASCAR Cup Series side, we got the team owner, old Hatchman 56. Then we got the McWarrior 555 running that 4 car. We got Timmy 17 in the 17, Tripwire 99 in that 18. Fly Shooter 420 is going to be in the 26. Lions Mutt 18 is going to be in the 37. Big B 420 is going to be in the 46. NASCAR Rocks 47 is going to be in that 66. The Joker vs. HQ is going to be in that 69. American Rebel in the 95. Gotta love that name. And then their subs are going to be Kid Covert in the 9. XTJD 12X is going to be would have been in the 13, and then Waffle House 83, great place for breakfast. He's going to go ahead and be in the 20, or would have been in the 24. Not sure if any of the subs were needed, but that is who we got. We did see an invite from the one and only Slide Job, I believe that was. Slide, are you there, sir?
I think he left the Discord. Dang.
He left the Discord. That was nice. Well, welcome back there, Harvard Ben. How you doing?
All right. Got me a drink now. Ready to go.
There you go. Nice cold beverage. Getting ready for some good old mile and a half racing. We were talking about the laps. We were talking about the wear. We've gone through the bios for each team. We've gone through the roster for each team and everything. These guys are out on track right now. They're qualifying, getting to their pace lap. That way they can pull on over and make their run. We'll join them here in just a little bit to kind of catch up on things there. But Harvick, you and I have broadcast before for East Park. I believe it was a Daytona race. Not much strategy went into that. But what do you think is going to come out of tonight? I know with the tire wear the way it is, they're really going to have to watch the tires, watch the wear. I believe that they're running on 3 times, so there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to have to go in for tires well before.
Well, so I'm gonna analyze this in 2 ways. The first way I'm gonna analyze it is you just take the tire wear out of the picture, looking at it based on fuel. I had a friend where we got the info for fuel. 19 to 18 laps of fuel. It starts off to 19, but it switches to 18 within the lap of coming out of the pit. So I'm going to say about 18 and a half laps of fuel, somewhere in that area. If you break that down, a 51 lap stage for stage 1, You're looking at pit stops around lap 18, lap 36, and that should take you to the end of the stage. You should be probably about 3 laps or so away from pitting by the time the stage ends. Going to be a similar situation for stage 2. Almost similar for stage 3, but I'll get to stage 3 in a minute because that's going to be a little bit of a stretch, and I think depending on cautions, you could see a potential saving there. But the other thing, when you factor the tires back in, and I'll say this, tires definitely came into play last night. One of the two, or one, actually, it was the only race last night. Thursday Night Thunder versus White Lightning. That race was also run here at Atlanta. Tires came into play. We saw a car, I believe it was a 37 last night, blow a tire trying to get into pit road. That cost him a lot of time, as well as coming to the end of the race, some guys blew a tire. Like coming to the start-finish line for the checkers, guys blew tires. So tire wear is going to be a problem. I'm going to estimate about 17 to 18 on tires. I think if you save your equipment, save your stuff, I think you can get there. But it's definitely going to be tough, and I expect a lot of loose conditions coming off of especially turn 4 where it gets so flat right there. And I could see, we got an invite. But I'll say, as far as tires go, I think you're just going to have to save your stuff.
I would agree. And Joker, from a driver's standpoint, all right, we know that these guys are all on presets, right? No, this isn't a setup competition whatsoever. From a driver's standpoint, where would you consider starting off on the preset scale, and what kind of changes would you make during either that first caution or that first stage break to get that car really where you like it the best?
Well, being on presets, times three wear, if that is correct, I'd
Yes.
probably be no more than a six, a five on the 5 or 6 on the preset scale. And my main focus after that first tire run or fuel run it would be to see exactly how bad that right rear tire is getting hot, whether the temperatures are getting too hot in the center or on the outsides. And that would be my main focus for at least stage 1, maybe even stage 2, just getting that right rear tire balanced so it lasts longer. The longer you can get that right rear tire to last, the more you can.
More you could stay out. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you might hear some cars ripping around a track already. I went ahead and took old Slide Job up on his offer to get into the race. I'll go ahead and bring that up here in just a second. But man, I'm glad that both of you are in the booth. I think the three of us together are going to have a phenomenal race. We're going to see some guys really do their best to get around this. But in the end, after all these 150 laps, give or take, it's only one can progress to round 2, and that's going to be the road course round. So without further ado, let's actually go ahead and bring up the let's go ahead and bring up
Qualifying.
this race and see how we're doing here. All right, joining in right for qualifying. You see the line of cars all the way around. I will have the stream of the one and only Tom Willoughby, 1971 tonight, to help me go ahead and keep up with the lap count and anything else. In fact, I'll try to find him right now. He just went out and see how he's doing. There he is. This is the driver that we're going to be keeping up with, the IK9 12 car of Shiny Tom 52. Car looks pretty good coming off 3 and 4. This is just his warm-up lap. Let's go ahead and take a lap around this old 12 car. Getting down as low as possible on that yellow line. Turn up towards the wall, scrub off as little speed as possible. But he got a little loose right there. I'm guessing since he's just qualifying, he's starting off on a higher preset. That way he can really get that car to turn down in the center and then allow it to wash back up towards the wall. Again, scrubbing off as little speed as possible and also maintaining his tire wear. You really just want to turn the wheel as little as possible to get in. That way you're not sliding that front end all the way through, and you're able to maintain a pretty fast pace. This looks like it's his second lap, and so far it looks like it's going to be right, might even be a little bit better than the first on his stream. I'll let you know what this lap is as he comes across. Again, coming off 3 and 4, coming to the line, lets out of the gas, and that was a 29.5. Not too bad for a second lap around.
Not at all. Look, you notice how he painted that line. You don't want to get too low, though. Get a little bit too low, hit that apron. That thing will shoot you off the racetrack. You don't want that. So you want to be kind of fighting the edge of fate there. You don't want to get too low and hit the apron, but you want to be right on that white line. Or yellow, whatever it is.
Yep, you definitely want to be right on that yellow. And one thing that we've seen around Atlanta, and I've spent all last week at this track with the NNR Championship races, and yeah, one thing that I've seen is going through the tri-oval. If you don't paint that grass line, it's very, very easy to allow somebody to get up and underneath you, and possibly take the win, take the lead, and then being it is a one groove track, but you can move around here. But being a predominantly one groove track, it can be hard. It can be hard to get back around somebody unless you have some help.
Yes, and I think drafting will come into play here. Obviously, you won't see it like at Daytona or Talladega, but I think you'll see two things. I think first, you'll see a little bit of teamwork, because at the end of the day, well, yes, these guys are all racing for a win, and they're all racing, as individuals. They're also racing collectively as 10 group teams, because it goes by team points, not by driver points. So your whole team has to get the most points in total for all 10 of your cars. So you want to try to help your teammates as much as you can, while still helping yourself and making sure you can maximize the amount of points you get in each stage and at the end of the race. So I think you'll see that, and I think you'll see a lot of drafting and things like that come into play here, as well as the other things we talked about, tires, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, the draft here is going to be huge. I would almost liken it, if it had more of a high side feel to it. I would almost liken it to like a Chicago or a Vegas or something like that, where
Kansas.
the draft is extremely in Kansas. Well, Kansas, you really don't want to get trapped on that low line, but definitely draft. Yeah, but at both Vegas and Chicagoland, not only is the draft huge, but there is that second and third line. If you can set your car up to run high, wide, and handsome around those tracks, you can do very, very well. I just saw a car go flashing on by. Got to go ahead and try to catch up with him right now. Looks like he had a pretty good pace going. Looks like it's going to be our fearless community leader, old Mr. Slide Job himself, Mr. 1996. Rocking, looks like. I love the numbers. Kind of hard to see unless.
Yeah. Custom
Yeah,
cars are hard
I
to
got
read.
nothing. I'm gonna guess it's an 88. But that's definitely a fault in the game. But yeah, Slide Job out here turning some laps. He's not the pace car, is he? Is Slide Job the pace car
No,
tonight?
sir.
No, okay.
No, I think what they're trying to do is run the laps down for qualifying. I think everybody's finished up their laps. They're trying to get qualifying done. I think Slide Job's going out there, making a few hot laps and run the laps out.
Okay, so basically running out the clock, so everybody else that's sitting still on the sidelines watching this guy show him how to get it done, they don't get DQ'd. Gotcha. But yeah, we'll kind of keep it right here with Slide Job, see what kind of laps he's running. Is Slide Job on a wheel or a controller? Anybody know?
I couldn't tell you. I'm thinking a wheel, because I do know he was one of the top 24 for Pro League this season.
No,
okay.
he is on a controller. He is a controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So go Slide Job on a controller, and still doing very, very well towards the end of the Pro League Season 2 races. All right, yep, again, off of Tom Willoughby 1971 stream. I do see that the clock has started. They've got less than 2 minutes before we go ahead and stack them all back up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, it's gonna be a great race. I can't wait to get this going. Harvick and Joker, I'm glad that you guys are here. It's again, race number 8 between Hatch Racing and Palmetto Racing. Only one advances to round 2. Again, round 2 will be the road course round. We've seen 6 others before tonight. Get it done, move on, and if you guys have been keeping up with those races, have there been any surprises with those that have moved on?
Um, of course, I missed a couple of the races. I had a couple other obligations earlier in the weekend, but let's see. Sunday night, I know Sunday night going in here. This is actually a little bit of a fun fact. Sunday night's race that I called with Rowdy Trucks um, between. Hold on, let me think. I'm having a moment, guys. Carolina Racing and Quarantine Racing League. That was the closest points gap. They it was really kind of. I thought it would be kind of a landslide. The guys kind of popped back up though. Ended up being a 38-point gap at the end of the whole race. So, which has been the closest gap so far. I believe the other race that was going on simultaneously with that one was also second closest. So, also last night at this very track, the race that was run here last night between White Lightning and Thursday Night Thunder. That race, while it had a pretty sizable margin by the end of it, Thursday Night Thunder, who ultimately took home that win and advanced, actually started behind the 8 ball. They kind of had a rough first stage or so. Whilst they had a little bit of a gap behind, they clawed all that back and actually gained a relatively large points gap by the end of it. So we've had a couple surprises, especially here in Atlanta.
I agree. How about you, Joker? Have you been able to keep up with any of these guys? And, any surprises with anybody that's moved on so far?
Well, Pete, not really. It's usually um, the races that I have kept up with that I've been able to watch or the streams of. It's just really been a dominant race. One team just really dominates the other. Um, so I think when I commentated with Atlanta Racing and Rick James the other day, that was a pretty close race. I'm trying to remember which it was. Checker Chasers, and I can't think of the other. There's so many leagues I can't keep up with them
Disc
all.
Racing League.
But yeah,
Yeah, there
but
have absolutely been quite a few.
hmm it was definitely a 47, like I think a 46, 47 points difference there. So that was a good close one. But other than that, it's been really a dominant performance by certain teams and through the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay,
It.
just real quick update. We just finished qualifying, and I'm gonna get you guys an invite for the race. Um, right now. I'll pop in and let you know when to join it.
All right. Appreciate you.
Aye, aye,
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner.
All right, so it looks like so far Atlanta Racing's out there. He's saying, let's go. Atlanta, thank you very much for hanging out tonight, as well as the one and only Rock NASCAR saying hello to everyone in the booth and best of luck to all drivers.
What's up, Rock?
Rock, thank you very much. Appreciate you, sir. Puggy878 saying, let's go Palmetto Racing League. And Shenanigan Mike, I'm going to guess that's what that is. I apologize for the music being a little over, but definitely got it toned down for you. Worm Rider, what's happening, man? Good to see you out there as well. He says, watch out for Joker and Big BZ. They are fast as hell. And big old shout out to HRL again. Asbel out there saying, what's up? And that, yep, he agreed with you that Slide Job was on a controller. Shiniga Mike again saying, good luck, Wayne. Make me proud. Josh Joseph in here streaming as well. Let's see. Cody, what's happening, sir? How are you? Good to see you out here as well. And then Geico Gamer, can't wait to watch a great race. Neither can we. It's gonna be a phenomenal time. I can't wait. It's gonna kick it off. It's gonna be, any race here at Atlanta is always gonna be a lot of fun.
Agreed. Love this racetrack so much.
Want to definitely thank everybody for all the recent follows. Absolutely, keep them coming. Um, you know, this is normally the home stream for the NNR Racing League on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights. We just finished up our championship week. We'll be back in about 6 weeks' time with brand new series, whole bunch of new faces and places, new teams. All new run for some new championships. So definitely appreciate y'all for following. Please, stay tuned. Let's see. NSA Rough Shot saying, come on, PRL. Dark Sage saying, as long as Chevrolet wins, I'm not worried who wins the race. As long as it's a Chevy. I am right there
Amen to
with you. In
that.
fact, I'm wearing a Chevy shirt right now. So I'm right there with you.
I like my Fords.
Well, you know what they say about Ford, right?
Yeah, first on race day.
No.
I can tell you what they say about Ford. Ford tough. He that's his gamer tag, but he drives a Chevy in that Cup
Yes,
Series. I
he
will tell you
does.
that. He know what's good for him.
Yep, I was very, very surprised when I looked at his Twitter profile picture, and there was a big old Chevy emblem on the front.
Yep.
But it's gonna be a great race. Glad that all of y'all are here, Geico. Yep, we are a Chevy gang. Looks like Dusty Lankford is rooting for HRL. But man, I'm ready to go, fellas. I don't know about you. I just want to get in here, see these guys out there on track. I want to see them going 2 wide, 3 wide. 3 wide can be done. Don't be fooled if you got the right setup. If you can run that high line without getting too tight along the wall when the wall comes up fast, coming off the corner, you can keep a lot of speed up there.
Tell you what, too, if you're really brave, you can even fit 4 wide. And it may not work all the time, but if you're brave enough, you can make it work.
You better be talking
Ford
about the one
wide
car that's
never
got to dip
works.
down below the bottom line in order to say that he's pitting next time.
This track is too hot and slick for 4 wide. I'll tell you that.
Pizza Wayne, thank you for the follow, sir. But yeah, just waiting on that ever important invite from from our fearless leader. It looks like the countdown clock is done on Tom Willoughby's, so we're going to get that invite here in just a second, so we can get in here and get rolling.
In about 2 seconds, go ahead and accept your invite, please.
All right, got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You are the man, Slide Job. Good luck tonight, sir.
Keep them straight.
All right,
And
let's
turn
go
'em
ahead
left.
and get in here.
Now, I will
National
point this
Racing
out,
League
too.
saying them PRL boys don't even need them. Well, we'll see.
I don't know. If we didn't have them, we'd be a race right now. But I must say this about pitting. The other thing I forgot to mention, unlike maybe some of the other races you've seen over the weekend, Atlanta's got a little bit of a different pit entry rule. You actually have to basically be committed to pitting once you go into turn 3. You have to be on the apron. I see that being a little bit more time-consuming coming to pit road, and that might be something we'll have to watch for in these stages when people start to pit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Harvick, I wish every league would implement that rule that you have to be down on the apron going into 3. That on any track, oval that is.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump up to the front here, see what we've got for our starters. Looks like it's going to be the 21 of Zachary.
Here we go.
7007 on the pole with the 16 of Night Sniper. They're going to take them all to green. And guys, look at all these white paint schemes setting at the top of the field. I'm going to guess this is a team thing. What do y'all think?
I would think so. It makes our job a little bit easier if it is.
Not really, because usually I'm looking for distinct colors.
Never mind. Okay, it makes it easier to find the team. Now the driver might be a different story, but
yeah, definitely you can definitely find the team pretty easy. But so far it looks like about the top 3, maybe the top 4 with that guy can get down bottom and pull ahead just a little bit. Here is that 12 car of Shiny Tom. Again, going to make a little bit of contact with the wall, and it's going to lose a little bit of the momentum. That's going to allow some of his teammates, I'm going to guess, to work their way around him. But I'm seeing a sea of white at the front, guys.
It's either that or Casper brought his friends.
Very possible as well. Casper's
Looks like
got a
we're
hell of a
under
motor under him.
caution.
Oh,
Let's
indeed,
see.
we are.
Yeah, kind of a quick caution. Looking back from the 12 of Shiny Tom, I don't see anybody there. Kind of going through the field. I'm gonna guess there's something way in the back. Yeah, it looks
Oh, a
like
little bit of
Fly
contact.
Shooter 420 has all kinds of damage on the front end of his Toyota.
Tough break for him. Now, I will say this. Right now, with this first caution, and Joker elaborated on this a little bit ago, in pre-race, these guys, they're on presets. They're not on custom setups. So, although the preset is, you try to get it as close as possible to what you want, obviously, these guys have done a little bit of practice, and these presets are not usually going to be perfect. I expect a lot of guys to come down pit road this time and make those adjustments they know they're going to need for later in the race. This seems to be a good opportunity to do that. I expect a lot of guys on pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the first chance that they've all got to go down pit road, make any kind of adjustments that they need, whether it's tire pressure, wedge, tape, or whatever. Again, guys, these are all preset races. There are no custom setups in here. They all run off that slide and make any adjustments that they can from there.
Agreed. I will say too, I feel bad for whoever got damaged back there because that's going to be costly. And I'll say this also, I think somebody else got in the wall, so that might be a little bit of a God save for him as far as being able to get what little damage he did have repaired, because aerodynamics means so much here. The draft, you have any damage to the side of your car or the nose, it'll hurt you on speed.
Oh yeah, I mean any of this will hurt you on speed on such an aero track. Yeah, you definitely want to keep that to a minimum. So these guys that might have got any kind of damage right off the bat here, Joker, they're going to want to get down, get it fixed up, take advantage of this early caution, and make sure that they're good to go when we go back green. And it looks like pit road's open, Joker.
Yeah, it looks like Fly Shooter 420. Looks like he's driving number 26 car. He looks like the one that really got all the damage from that wreck. Might have been the main cause of this caution. He's the only car that I see with a lot of damage. I mean, he's probably got at least 20 seconds worth of repairs.
Yeah, I was following him down the backstretch after we finally caught up, or was able to get an idea of what caused the caution. And yeah, his hood was all bent up, the sides caved in. Definitely not the outcome that he wanted. But looks like the top 5 or top 6 cars all stayed out behind our pace car. 52, 25, 52 again is Josh 5893. The 25 is going to be Booty Slayer 969. And you got looks like the 53 of Simoleon 60 46 30. So these guys are in the back here, but basically just keeping pace with the pace car, doing what they got to do, waiting for it to go back green. Only a couple laps on these tires. We'll have to see if these guys end up being sitting ducks, as if we get a long green flag lap. I'm sorry, green flag run rather, or if that mid break or mid stage really suits them well, or maybe they're going to try a little bit of strategy. We'll have to see. But everybody will have to pit yet again.
Well, and I'll say this: this also, these top 5 or 6 thing out. If this does go green for a while from here, I think that caution came out on lap 3. So you get about 18 on fuel. I'm going to estimate they got about 15 to 14 left. Obviously, under pace, you can save a little bit, but you're still using some fuel. I'm going to estimate they got about 14 left. Well, those guys that just pitted, they still got 18 in the tank. So there's a little bit more of a deficit for pit stops right now. These 5 or 6 that are up front right now had to pit earlier than the rest of these guys behind. So something to keep an eye on if this does indeed go green.
Yep, looking at the pace car right now, that 57 car is TBR Pride, tonight's pace car driver. Looks like he's going to go ahead and duck on down pit road, giving the lead back over to, it looks looks like the 16 of Night Sniper and the 12 again of the guy that we're driving along with here to keep up with laps and fuel and all that. Shiny Tom 52 going to take us to that restart zone, coming off 3 and 4 for the last time before we go back green. We're all racked and stacked back up here. Harvick, take us green.
Here we go, leaders control. He launches. Here we go. Headed for 1. These guys packed up, still getting up through the gears. Heading to 1.
Yeah, heading to 1. Definitely saw some congestion in the back. Maybe some people didn't go quite at the same time as others. So a little bit of inconsistency in the speed, but it definitely worked out for 3 of the people that stayed out. In fact, the top 4 now are all hugging that bottom line. I think that JP, what was his name? Worm Rider was just shouting him out here just a second ago. Big BZ said keep an eye on him. He was bad fast. So yeah, we'll have to see. Right now, a whole lot of high side
contact right there,
all the way back to the end.
Contact, and we're gonna keep going. I see these guys actually got a little bit more spread out, a little bit faster than I anticipated they would, especially kind of about 7th or 8th maybe. That's just an estimate of position because I can't look at it, but I'm gonna say about 7th to 8th. They're kind of a little bit split away from this front group.
Can one of y'all take a look at the stream, please, and let me know if it's lagging?
The video is not lagging, but I don't know about the audio because I can't have audio and Discord at the same time.
Okay. All right. Yep. Not quite sure. All right. Yeah. Devista 04 saying the connection is fine on his side. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep on going through the pack here. Again,
Say what, Pete, that 46 Toyota is really moving up through the field. I don't know if that's just because he took 4 fresh tires and these guys stayed out, which I would never stay out unless it was 1 or 2 laps to go here at Atlanta. Atlanta's just so rough on the tires. It seemed that 4 tires that the 46 has got is really paying off.
Oh yeah, he's about to try to take that 53 on the outside. Thought better of it. The wall came up way too fast. Did not want to scrub off any of that speed, risk damaging the entire right side of that car. That is the guy that Worm Rider was saying to keep an eye on, one of the only non-white cars out here on track tonight. And yeah, he looks like he's got a good piece under him. But again, it could also be because these guys in front all opted to stay out under that quick caution.
But I noticed this too. I talked about that pack up front kind of splitting up a little bit, but they've now kind of come back together. So I'm thinking what's happening now is, hey, these guys are getting grouped up drafting, and also I think those tires are now starting to come back to bite a little. Even though it's about 3 or 4 laps, tires still mean so much here. I don't know this exactly. This is kind of an estimate, but for example, you run 3 laps on your tires, you try to get them down to like low to mid 80s on the right sides, while those guys that pit get forward, well, they're about, 98 when you go back to green, so 99. That's a little bit of a difference as far as speed goes. So, plus these guys have adjustments too that just pitted.
Yeah, they were able to do anything that they needed with the tire pressure, more than likely leaving the left side alone, but definitely working on the rights. Now, Joker, if you were in this car, are you more of a neutral man where you want more throttle? More time just letting it roll, or are you a freer kind of guy where you want to get in the corner and you want to let that right rear do most of the work?
I'm like a neutral. I like to let the car roll, let the suspension do the work. You know, I don't like to force the car in the corner and just on the throttle real heavy. You wear your car out way too early, in my opinion, and I've seen it time and time again. And in many of the leagues that I've run in, is that forcing the car in there. Yeah, they'll faster than you. They'll pull away, but you'll reel them back in because you saved your stuff up for a couple laps.
Well, and I'll say this too. I don't know. Pete, I don't know if you can give me a little bit of a lap update here, but We've probably run 7 or 8 laps so far in this run, keeping in mind that there was about 5 or 6 guys that did not pit. Some of these guys may be thinking about a green flag pit stop here soon.
Yeah, I would imagine. Actually, yeah. The 12 car just came across the line with 36 laps remaining. Again, that's Shiny Tom in the 12. Now,
It's about 15 laps in.
yeah, it is. And these guys were able to go about 19 on fuel, but at 3 times wear, I don't think they're going to really want to push their luck all that far on that right front or that right rear. However, if you get into these corners and you're smoother than some other guys, maybe you got that wheel, and you can just barely turn it in. You're not scrubbing off any speed. Tires aren't sliding up the track. You might be able to go just a little bit further. That in the long run, once you get to stage 3, that could suit you very.
Well, and as far as those guys go that stayed out, I'm going to expect them in around lap 18 to 19, probably closer to 19 because they did have those caution laps there where they were able to kind of either throw it in fourth gear or neutral, clutch it if they have a wheel, things like that to save under caution. So I'm going to expect them in about lap 19 to 20.
We definitely got us a new leader. Sorry, Harvard.
You're all good.
Yep, looks like it's going to be the 37 of Lions Mutt 18. He's got a little bit of a challenge from the outside, but he's got the preferred line. Going to be able to keep it on down. Here comes the 71, right back down on that high side. You might have a little bit of help from the 44 right behind. 44 is going to stay with him down low. We'll have to see if we're going to be 3 wide here for the lead. Right now, just side by side, going 3 and 4.
Still working on him. I think the bottom third triangle here is going to have the advantage, and I think they're probably going to be able to get going back into one. I see a little bit of contact there, or was that just lag? I don't know.
I'd let him go. He's got more fuel and tires than they do. I'd let him go. They got to pit before he does.
You know, Harvick, you called it plain as could be. We'd probably start seeing pit stops here in the next couple laps. Well, green flag pit stops have started, and as they come to the line, I'll tell you exactly. Let's see, they got 33 more laps to go. So when you said a couple more, man, you weren't kidding. You were right on the ball.
Hey, it's kind of fun. I like being right. But as for the rest of these guys, I'll say probably about. Let's see. Caution came out about lap 3. Went green probably about lap 6 or 7. Take that off the fuel. I'm going to say the rest of these guys probably come in about lap 25. 24, 25, somewhere around that area.
Well,
stage. So.
We'll definitely have to see. I'm kind of curious. I mean, we've gone through the field talking about a few different things. Not quite sure if the guys that are up here right now were some of those that pit earlier, and the ones that stayed out are now up front. But there's a couple more giving the international signal of dipping below the yellow line that they are coming to the pits this time, leaving just the top 2 out here. Looks like it's the 44 and 37. Again, that 44 is out of the Palmetto stable. That's going to be Colin. And the 47.
Busy.
What's that?
Busy pit road. Oh, I saw a little bit of. I think that was lag. I don't know, but I think I just saw some.
37 rather.
Pit road.
Yep, Lions Mutt. So you got one from Palmetto and one from HRL up there dueling for the lead. Couldn't get more even than that, I guess, huh?
Hey, no, I think you got a good point there. I didn't mention this, and I guess I should have. But I didn't really think about this until I saw the rest of these guys come down pit road. I think the reason you see a lot of these guys coming down pit road, even though they can go further, short pitting and tires. Tires mean so much here at the tire time. If these guys, those 6 guys that come down pit road right there, come in, take tires, take 4, come out, the rest of these guys stay until about lap 24, 25, they lose a lot of time just based on the time of tires and how much lap time fall off there is based on that. I didn't even really think about that, if I'm being honest, until I saw the rest of them come in. But I think that's what you saw, why you saw them come down pit road.
Yep, very, very positive. 3 wide between the 16-25 and the 23. 23 Flyers fan on that very, very high side. Again, proof that you can go 3 wide. Great job by these guys to, pick a line, stick to it, and not wash up. Navista's going to be kind of. I'm going to try to find out who is in P1 here as soon as I possibly can. The guy that I'm kind of following along with on stream is back in P14, but we are in the middle of green flag pit stops. I don't believe everybody's made their way down and come off as of yet. Before we went to before the round of green flag stops, the 37 was out front. So as soon as we can, we'll try to get back up front to our leader and grab us a lap count at the same time.
Pete, I think the 21 of Zachary is the leader right now, with the 37 that you just mentioned right behind them.
All right,
from what I can tell.
Zach.
Gotta find him. The search is real.
Yeah,
Yep, Zachary was just going down the backstretch. He's in 3 and 4 right now. Couple guys a little bit further behind him. Looks like he's a little loose right there. Either that or just a little bit of instability in the lobby, but able to gather it back up. He's got a whole lot of clear track in front of him, and looks like he might even be pulling away from the guys behind him by just a little bit.
Just in case you want to lead
always
it,
nice.
Zachary 7007 filled out to the lead, the number 21 car.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, yep, you were right on the ball, Joker. 21 car is in the lead, and he's definitely got a clear advantage over second and third. I mean, as he's coming to the line, second and third are just now coming off 3 and 4, and as he's going into 1, they're just crossing the line. So 21 has a clear gap, and he's got smooth sailing in front of him, no dirty air or anything like that. Rough shot saying, let's go, Zach. So definitely somebody out there pulling for this 21. And I think I actually saw earlier in chat where they said to keep an eye on this guy. So, yeah, it looks like it's kind of come to fruition.
Their word has been proven worthy.
Yeah, Pete, I believe he had the pole to start the race, and he definitely had gapped the field before that early caution that came out. So it seems true that he might have the car to beat tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping that thing penned down, as you see here on that yellow line all the way through 3 and 4. Going to allow it to wash up towards the outer wall. Keep it back down again through the trioval, across the line, heading back down into 1 and 2. Really, really smooth ride for Zachary 7007 there.
Look at him get very close to that grass too. You talked about that in pre-race, Pete. How close you want to get to that grass to try to get as much time through the trioval, try to cut as much of that distance off as you can.
Yeah, not only that, if you do have company in your rear view, you want to keep your car penned down to that line to make sure that the guy behind you cannot get underneath your left side at all and force you up to take a spot. Going into 1 and 2, you're definitely that low side is definitely the preferred line.
I'd be curious to know what car is in second, because I don't know if there's any lap traffic in the middle of this. I don't think so.
Let's see if we can find the car that has the biggest gap up to the 21.
It's a big one.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Apologize for spinning y'all around like that. All right, so I'm gonna guess that this 37, the guy that went in right behind or right with the 21, this Lions Muted or Lions Mutt XD18. I'm gonna guess that he is probably P number 2. Let's see, Zach's Davista 04 saying Zach's one of our heavy hitters in PRL. This doesn't surprise me. Hashtag phenomenal. I gotta agree with you. Pretty phenomenal lead that he's got right now. After the first round of green flag pit stops, and I mentioned I'd go ahead and grab a lap count for us. It looks like we've got 19 laps to go here in stage number 1. Again, after stage 1, we'll have slide job poke back in the lobby, give us a points update. Right now, these guys are pretty even.
Now they still have. Did you say we had 19 to go? Right. That's what I heard.
Yep.
So Still looking at one more pit stop, and actually, when the leader crosses the line here, Mr. Zach, he's gonna open the pit window. Pit window. I can't speak English apparently today, guys. It happens. But pit window is probably gonna open up, and I expect a lot of guys further back, maybe that 37, to potentially try to duck on the pit road a little bit early and see if he can gain any time on your race leader on tires.
Yeah, and to that point, the 21's going to kind of want to pay attention to his track map to see when more people start ducking down as well. He doesn't want to lose too much time. Speaking of pitting and all that, I just went back to the number 12 cars stream again. Shiny Tom 52, and his tires are screaming at him with 17 laps remaining. I'm going to guess he's going to be heading down pit road here pretty soon to get fixed up and know that when he comes out, he won't have to worry about taking it easy. He can go flat out for the remaining 15 laps if he was to pit this time. Speaking of which, there's a couple guys down pit road right now. It's going to be the 16 and the 52. 16 of Night Sniper and the 52 of Josh 5893, both out of the Palmetto's stables and working together.
And teamwork is going to be helpful here as well. Draft matters. Not as much as, say, Daytona or Talladega, but it is helpful if you want to gain. And I'll say this, although the 21 is going to pin these guys a lap down, he's going to lose time on these tires.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of people get pinned a lap down. Not in this race, but over the previous 6 races before tonight. Again, guys, there is another race going on. This is just race 1 of a doubleheader. The other is being streamed right now by the one and only Word Burton with I'm Rick James and one other in the booth. I apologize for not remembering his name right now. There you go. Yep, Rowdy Trucks. They're over at Kentucky with another couple of communities trying to get it done over there.
That was a good race. I believe those two are Online Motorsports Association, or OMA, and the Rowdy Energy Cup Series. Those two doing battle over there as well as Palmetto and Patch are here. And your leader was on pit road right there.
Yep, I'm kind of watching these guys going in and coming off pit road. Gotta love the issues of coming out, a little bit more instability. You see these cars rocking back and forth, but they'll get sorted out as they head on back down on the apron. Coming out of the pit road, they do have to stay as low as possible so they don't impede the flow of oncoming traffic. Basically, keep it under the yellow all the way around 1 and 2. Merge back on the backstretch when it's clear to do so. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see a car back there that was into the inside wall. I'm not quite sure who it was. I'm gonna guess it was a 1-car incident, so the caution won't apply. But I've been wrong before.
He's gonna take some damage from that, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the 21 was very close to making contact with somebody. I didn't see who that was. 21 coming up out of the pits was merging on the backstretch. Came extremely close to making contact with another car.
Speaking of 21, here he is going through 1 and 2, going by another car as they exit the pits. And I'm gonna guess by the distance that he has back to the guys behind him, he's gonna be able to retain the lead. We'll have to see as the night goes on, or as the stage goes on rather. But it looks like we've got 12 laps remaining. So that 21 was able to go a pretty good distance in that last fuel run. I would love to have an in-car for him to see where he was on fuel and tires. I would hope with the sizable lead that he had, he didn't wait until the very last minute before pulling that down pit road.
I agree. I'm going to estimate he probably had about 4 or 5 seconds, maybe not that much. Not the best at estimating gaps when it comes to on-track math, but fuel is another thing. But on-track math, not my strong suit as far as distance, but he had a pretty sizable lead, so he did have some room to work with. And actually, I don't know where the 37 is, but if the 21 is indeed still the leader, he actually grew his gap.
All right, let's go ahead and see if we can find that 37. There's a 17. I was close. Let's see. 37 again is going to be Lions Mutt XD18. So let's see if we can find that 37 out here on track. So fast, he's eluding the camera. How about that?
Hiding from frame.
Right?
Well, your leader's in turn 3. Or what I assume would be the leader.
The Zachary 7007 has cycled back out to the race lead.
So it is the 21. Is the 37 still in second, Mr. Sledgehammer?
That I can't confirm.
Okay.
Sorry.
I tell you what, if he's not in second, he's definitely digging as hard as he can. Looks like he might have made a little contact there with the yellow line through 1 and 2, heading down the backstretch. I do see one lone car up ahead of him. He's got a pretty sizable lap, so I'm going to guess that the 37 is P2. Again, without the tools that were promised for Heat 5. Unfortunately, I can't confirm it because there is no running order on the top of the screen. Hopefully that comes back to us. They took it out in order to be fixed. Hopefully we get it back soon here in one of the patches. That'll be a great tool to finally have and to use.
Yes.
It'll it'll definitely save a whole lot of guesswork, and it'll be nice to have a couple of the tools back.
Indeed. And I'll say this much. Remember how I said the 21 group is gap? Well, now it actually looks like it might have shrunk a little. I'm trying to get an idea on the gap behind him. But I also say this. Depending on what camera, the TV cameras are giving you, Pete, you can see a lap car up there in the distance for Zach. Don't know if that'll come into play or not. It looks like he's pretty well by himself. But there is a lap car up there that could play into this. If he catches him, he's got a pretty little distance to catch that lap car. And we are closing in on the end of the stage. But he is closing pretty fast. So, might be a factor.
Yeah, it's very, very possible. I mean, he's closing in a pretty big hurry. He'd have to do it within the next 6 laps, though, in order to have any effect. But again, he's got such a lead back to that 37. If in fact that 37 is in P2, that I don't think he'd be in any big hurry to try to get past this car. I'll double check on this lap count here as soon as 12 of Tom Willoughby goes past the start stripe, as we're keeping an eye here on the 21 going through 1 and 2, heading down the backstretch once again.
He has caught that lap car. He's in his draft, which is actually maybe helpful for right now, trying to pull away. I also do see another car, just noticed it, that is also relatively close. Don't know, I can't quite tell who that is right now. I saw something interesting there, but can't quite tell who that is from this camera that I have. But
he just got past the 46.
There's the lap car.
Yep.
There's another one behind that. I don't know if that's also a lap car.
Yeah, the 46 was Big BZ 420 that he just went by.
See, and I see another lap car up here too. I don't know that they'll get there though.
No, there's only 3 laps remaining. I'm pretty sure that he's having clear sailing, no dirty air to deal with, no nothing like that, to be able to just get up and get going. Mr. Cole at 12:24. Thank you very much for the follow, sir, and welcome Palmetto versus Hatch here as part of the Fast Family Showcase community. This is race number 8 in the first round. Race number 7 is on Burton Stream. They're over at Kentucky. But man, if you're a fan of Palmetto or Hatch, welcome aboard, sir. Thanks again for the follow.
Now the leader just crossed the line. I don't know if the 12 has crossed. I don't know if we're up 2 to go or 1 to go. But I can tell you pit road is closed for this stage. We're getting ready to come up on the end of it, and that means points are about to be awarded to the top 10. I couldn't tell you exactly who the top 10 are right now. Nor I'm going to be honest, can I tell you what league is. Rosters do take a little bit of time for me to learn personally, but tell you what, it's getting to be crunch time, because after this stage, you're going to know where you set as far as either you're under or you're over.
Well, I'll tell you
That
what,
is the end of the
21 just
stage.
came across the stripe, and that ended stage number one. So the 21 is Zachary 7007 is going to go ahead and take stage one. He had the 46 of Big BZ 420 right behind him, but again, not quite sure where that was, or it could have been the 37. But either way, I'll try to get us a top five here if I can. Looks like. Um, just waiting to see if Tom scrolls. Come on, a little bit further. Nope, he's not going to. So, but yeah, congratulations to the 21 out of he's the leader of Palmetto. Go ahead and grab max points for his community here in stage one. We're gonna let these guys get on pit road and make any other adjustments that they need, and then we're gonna stack them back up, and track's getting hotter.
50 laps for stage number 2. So a little bit shorter, not too much though. This is going to allow everybody to restack. So cautions. We had an early one last time. We'll see what happens here. Green flag back out. Here we go.
Yeah, green flag back out. Looks like the 66 of 66 of NASCAR Rocks 47. He's going to be able to go ahead and get to the front. 21's going to pull a little bit of a crossover. 66 might have just tagged that bottom line a little bit, kicked him up. Either that or he forgot to pit. Not 100% sure, but 21 now in that middle line, and that's going to allow I'm trying to get to the inside here, 37. So yeah, 37 Lions Mutt. I'm going to guess he was P2 before. That's going to put him up to P1, 21 back to P2, and they're all nose to tail.
Yes, they are. And looks like right now they're pretty calm. At least up towards this front. They're a little racy, but of course this place being relatively single file. I don't know if maybe these guys learned their lesson from the first stage. Of course, I know that incident was further back when we did have that one caution, but maybe these guys trying to stay a little bit calm. And I think a lot of these guys up here actually are from the same league. So, I mean, you got the points. Why lose them?
Right, 100% right. And you know what? I don't even know if I can go with the same lead anymore. There's so many white designs on track. I mean, like you said, it's kind of like Casper racing and all of his 19 cousins out here. There's really no way to say, yep, that's the 24, that's the 88, or that's the 6 or the 22 or 2. Yeah, it's just not like that. I think they definitely got together and said, you know what, we're going to be a couple communities out here fighting it out. Let's put on a show, and let's show a little bit of a unified front. Let's get at it, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Agreed. Now I will say this though, as far as the points I talked about, when that stage ended, you're gonna kind of know where you said as far as
we
over
got some
under.
contact
Oh,
up front. One car is definitely around on the apron. A couple cars hard in the outside wall and flipping in 1 and 2. That should bring out the caution.
Later coming down the backstretch, they do race back to the start-finish line in this showdown. So, indeed, if that's not a caution, I'll be really surprised. But that should be a caution, which means the pace car going to make his return back out onto the racetrack in case these guys around here. Pit road's going to open. This could be a mixed bag as far as guys coming into pit. Obviously, if you got damage right there, you're going to pit. I'm going to estimate...
Pace car is pulling out.
There he is.
All right, so Pacecar's going to go ahead and collect the field. As you said, these guys do race back to the line, and then in pre-race, they were all instructed to just roll out of the throttle. Don't hit the brakes. You don't want to get rear-ended, and you don't want to rear-end somebody else that did hit, stab the brakes. So back under caution pace. We're going to stack them back up again. They'll get an opportunity to go down pit road. The guys that were in the mid and late pack will get an opportunity to get their damage fixed up. But, yeah, we saw one guy get loose, and then it collected a few others, and a couple cars were hard into the outside wall and then were sent for a flip or two. So, Joker, I tell you what, out of stage one, and you figure the 21 one stage one. I'm going to guess the 37 Lions Mutt for HRL came in second. And anything out of stage one that surprised you? Joker, do I have you, sir?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, think we might have lost. Think we might have lost Joker. Been kind
Hopefully
of
we can
quiet
get
for a
him
little bit.
back.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I did see a little bit of contact under the caution there, so that's not going to be good for somebody. But I will say at some point, I know that's what we got told. Hopefully, I believe Mr. Slapjob will be back in here at some point during this stage to give us a points update once they get that all finalized.
Yep, I would imagine so. Again, all on that bottom line. A couple cars deciding to ride the apron all the way around, save hey, every little bit works for it. Maybe he's got wheel and a shifter and just kind of riding down there, throwing it in neutral, saving as much gas as he can. And if that's the case, and it looks like he's staying out, that could be exactly what he's doing.
And we'll see. I tell you what, if I was a crew chief right here for any of these guys, this would be a tough call to make. But gonna have to make something. We'll see a lot of guys coming down pit road.
Yep,
Well,
looks like behind the pace car is going to be the 83, and I'm not quite sure what car is behind him. Might be the 7, I'm going to guess. Again, these numbers are kind of ridiculous to try to decipher. Might be, there is no 1, there is no 7, so I was wrong on both counts.
I think there's a 17. I think that helps.
Is that... I couldn't even tell you. Let's see if we can actually go through and land on the guy. That's just unfortunate. Let's see.
Oh, we can cycle the pace car. Let's see.
There we go.
Somebody getting there one, right?
All
right. Oh, okay.
I still can't tell, even when I'm right on them. Yeah, these black on black numbers definitely do not work.
I'm in the same boat.
86, 87. The guy that's in last probably doesn't want to be there. I don't know who he is right now, though. That's the best I can tell you. I can tell you he does not want to be there.
Well, and I'll say this, I'm almost wondering if maybe he was one of those guys that got involved in that caution. Might have been. I don't know, though. We'll see. I'm on board with the pace car, because why not? Working their way through 1 and 2. I'm going to check and see something real quick.
Oh. All right, but in the meantime, while you do that, looks like the 21 is going to go ahead and retake the lead. That's Zachary 7007. He won stage 1. To his inside is going to be the 66 car of NASCAR Rocks 47. So just like stage 1, we've got a Palmetto guy and we've got a an HRL guy. So man, it still looks like it's even Steven. Definitely going to be interesting to once Slide Job does pop in for that points update to see how they fare. Something tells me they're going to be right neck and neck. Black Dragon, thank you very much for the follow.
Saw somebody there getting their lap, or what I assume getting their wave around or free pass. I saw them go by the pace car. So I'm assuming that's why we're still under pace, trying to get the running order still sorted out. It is a lot of work, especially with 20 cars. I can say that from experience of running a league that does manual cautions. It can be a pain, and I don't even run with this many cars on the track. My league's a little bit smaller, so definitely feel the pain for Slide Job. It is a lot of work.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I deal with a community every week that at some points of the year they've got 38 cars or trucks out there on track, and towards the end of the season it's quite a bit less. But that happens no matter which community you're with. But yeah, it looks like the 37's got the 21 and the 1621 again, Zachary 7007, 16 of Night Sniper, 2 is outside. Behind them is going to be the 52. 52 is Josh 5893, and then the 69 car. 69 is going to be out of the Hatch stable. That's going to be the Joker versus HQ. So your top four getting ready, all geared back up. Probably, I imagine, a restart from second gear, all side by side, coming to the restart box. And yeah, Hart fan, here we go again.
Yes, sir. Let's see how this one goes. This is going to shake up fuel too. I'm actually curious what they cross, if we can get a lap count. But we're headed back to 1 and 2. And, well, looking. There we go. 21, actually.
Yep, 21's going to be able to go ahead and take the lead. Night Sniper now underneath the 52, going into 3 and 4. Actually, they're 3 wide right now for P2. The guy there in the middle of that mess decided to back out of it. It looks like it's going to be the 69 rocking those red and black stripes. Thank you for making your car just a little bit different. But yeah, Night Sniper looks like he's in a pretty good place right now to really try to pounce on this 16. Indeed, nope, he thought about trying to get down to that low line, but not able to right then and there. 16 is going to keep it blue to the bottom. Night Sniper right behind him. Behind Night Sniper is going to be, it looks like the 52. He also started up top, but right now, first through about 7th, all nose and tail, heading into 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. Painting that yellow line, you don't want to really get off of it unless you have to make a pass or you got some help. Or, you know, maybe your car's not handling it. Typically, you want to hold that. You don't want to lose any time because you fall out of line right here. The way they're running, it's kind of like...
Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of interrupt you. 21 looked like he got wicked loose, about kicked it sideways, lost all and any gap that he had back to P2. Big battle right now for second and third. Joker, do we have you back, sir? Tizzy, thank you very much for the follow. I guess no Joker. All right, so we'll just march on here, Harvick. So, the other 21, he's been very, very stout. Since the drop of the green, these guys have been very, very in the mix with each other. They seem like a couple of communities that are able to run right alongside of each other. Nobody's really pulled away to a clear lead except for that 21. Other than that, they have been all around for the most part. A little bit of a gap between when either due to pitting time or maybe having to frequent damage or whatever. But for the most part, man, they've been right next to each other all race long.
Yep, there we go. I had a bit of a connection issue right there, so my bad, guys. There's a storm outside. Sorry.
That's right. Slide up, if you are still here, can you please get an invite?
I'm still in the game. It was just my
okay.
song.
Okay, good. All right. Keep working through the field. Here we go. Back up towards the lead. Here is that. Looks like 21 is no longer in the in the capper seat. Looks like it's going to be a 16 car. That's going to be the 16 of Night Sniper. So Night being able to hold off these other two, as they stay side by side going into 1 and 2. The third place guy right now, he's just like saying, you know what, you guys go ahead and race it out. When you make a little bit of contact, I will be there. That position will be mine. 69 up to P2, 21 back to P3, 52 to P4, and they got a little bit of gap back to P5.
Yes, sir. Starting to kind of split away. You see these guys starting to really, these top 4 or 5 cars, I guess top 4, kind of starting to split themselves away, and once they do that, they'll be able to have their own little battle. I also see up in front of these guys, there's a lap, at least what I believe is a lap car up in front of me.
Yeah, when we went back green, I saw somebody actually had to go down pit road. Not sure if he forgot or what happened. It almost looked like he ran out of fuel. So I'm going to guess it was the guy that forgot to pit, had to go down pit road and lost a ton of time and track position. And now he's going to have these leaders hot on his tail if he's not able to keep up. But if that is the case, he should have 4 brand new Eagle Field Goods and a full tank of Sunoco racing fuel to get up, get on the wheel, and try to really distance himself from this top 4.
Well, yes, but the one disadvantage he does have is, well, these guys are in a pack and he's not. That's going to hurt. But hopefully he can keep himself up there. These guys starting to get a little bit more racy again.
Yep, I'm back up front, riding along right now with the 52 of Josh 5893. He's still keeping up with this 21, and I believe that was 69, and the 16, I believe. 16, I believe. And Night Sniper's still at the point.
He's trying to get. Look at the, I believe that's 52 right there behind the 21. Look at him. He's kind of swerving all around, trying to see if he can maybe find a hole underneath the 21 to make a move. Now he's kind of calmed down.
I ended up on the 66 of NASCAR Rocks. He's actually around on the backstretch, but it looks like he was all by himself, so no caution right now. But I'm going to work my way back up towards our leaders. Looks like some people, especially this 97, a Big Ben. He's going to go down pit road right now, get his first round of tires and tank of gas here in stage 2.
And we should be close to those pit stops. I don't know where we are on laps exactly, but I don't know if you said that or not. That might be when I cut out. But ooh, and also it looks like. Hang on, let me make sure I'm looking at this right. 21, unless those are lap cars, 21 slipped back a little bit further, by the way. Slipped to the tail end of this pack. I didn't see exactly what happened to him.
Yep, 21 looks like he's kind of in the middle of the pack of 4 that's been moving for a while. He's behind the 16, but in front of the 69 and the 52. So it looks like this pack of 4 has kind of distinguished themselves among the rest of this pack. As the 12 of Tom comes on by the start stripe, I'll go ahead and grab us a lap count. But yes, indeed, green flag pit stops are now underway. In fact, his tires are spin at him, and there are 26 laps remaining here in stage 2. 26 laps to go. These guys are pitting right now, and they've probably been pitting for the last, I don't know, lap or so, 2 laps, so about 27 laps to go. It's going to put you kind of in an interesting spot. You definitely have to make one more pit stop. You could probably stretch that to, I don't know, 10 to go, somewhere in that area. I'd expect to see guys on pit road. If you're pitting maybe a little bit earlier than that, closer to 15. But could also be a strategy where maybe stretch a little bit longer. Some of these guys that haven't pitted yet, they're going to be able to kind of work a little bit more with that fuel window. So. Well, I'll tell you what, I got to tip my hat to the 12 of Shiny.
Oh!
What?
Oh, contact. I don't know if those guys made contact or what, going into pit road, or if that was a lag.
Not sure, but I had to give a lot of credit right there to the 12 of Tom. He was able to keep up so much pace around that apron pulling into the pits. He passed the 53 of Simoleons heading into pit road, so that's going to be one position up for him, and he didn't have to fight for it hard on the track. He was able to get it heading onto pit road, so way to keep up the speed. Just hopefully he was able to woe it down in time to not get that black flag.
And that is a good move to make if you can do that. There's more than one way to pass here, and with this place being kind of one groove, it has been kind of hard to pass today. So if you can find another way, being pit entry and pit exit, and if you can do that on pit entry, you might be able to do the same on pit exit, depending on how his crew does on pit road right here. But definitely good move, good smart driving by him to try to gain that spot.
Absolutely. J-Pod, good to see you out there in chat. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on the NAOR win just the other night. Phenomenal way to move on to round 2 for the road courses, which should be starting here in the next few weeks. But congratulations again to NAOR.
Yes, indeed. And really to all those leagues, too, that have advanced. It's a lot of work, a lot of practice time goes into this from each league that participates. Same for these two leagues here tonight. No matter how this ends up, congrats to both leagues for putting up as much effort, putting practice in, and getting all this together. It's a lot of work that goes into all this from every party, from Slide Job and Ford and all the guys that kind of orchestrate this whole thing, the broadcast teams, because we are not the only ones. There's many of us doing all this. I enjoy it, but it can be kind of stressful sometimes. But it's fun. I love it. And once again, congrats to all that have advanced, and to those that maybe haven't advanced, keep your heads up, keep working. I have a funny feeling this could be something that will continue in the future. I definitely hope it does.
Oh, I've got to agree. And as I was cycling through these cars, I came across the 37, just kind of sitting on pit road. That was Lyons, but he was actually running really strong earlier. But it looks like a kind of a virtual blown motor for that car. Probably not something that the team wanted to see. That is definitely going to hurt him a little bit in the points. Hopefully he lasted all of stage one. I'm pretty sure he did. So at least his points will count there. But well, looks like we got a car around on the exit of pit road, and it doesn't look like it definitely wasn't the pace car. It's a different color.
So I don't think that'll be a caution, but I don't. Depending on what happens, if you go back up on the racetrack before the exit of 2, potential penalty if you did. I don't know though how they would police that. Make sure you keep an eye on though.
Yep. Well, according to Tom Green, yeah, he's backing it down. It doesn't look like caution is out.
Caution is okay.
Yep.
Well, that's going to change things. Where do we sit on lap count now? Everybody's going to be back on pit road here. I don't doubt that.
Oh yeah, everybody will come on down. I don't think it was in the window to where they can go to the end of the stage. We'll have to see once Tom comes on by. But pit road should be closed right now. I don't see where the pace car has the field yet. Here's the 56 having an issue. Kind of driving backwards. Not quite sure what's going on with Hatchman.
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of takes me back to Days of Thunder movie. The gas pedal's fixed, but the transmission's screwed. Yeah, so something going on with the 56 right now. I'm not sure if this is lag or what, but yeah, Hatch definitely having an issue.
Indeed, you definitely don't want to see that for those guys. It's going to hurt them in points if they can't get that sorted out. Hopefully they can, though. We'll see. Oh, we have a visitor.
All right, I have a points update for you. We did have some action at the beginning of that stage, so we weren't able to get it earlier. But PRL is taking the lead with stage 1 with 41 points to Hatch Racing League's 14. But plenty of racing left to go.
So Hatch Racing sits at a little bit of a deficit here. Definitely not too late, though, to gain that back. They got a little bit of work to do, though. Pete, what do you think? You think they'll be able to do it?
Man, as close as they've been racing, I really think that anything is absolutely possible. We mentioned the 21. He grabbed stage 1, but it was a hatch guy right in second place. They've been around each other all night long. They've been doing a phenomenal job. Just this is only the second caution for any kind of a racing incident. Once they come on down pit road, it looks like actually coming down pit road, saying 19 laps remaining, but only 18 on fuel. So yeah, if they don't get another caution, something else is gonna have to happen. They're gonna have to pit for just right sides and like a half can, and then get back out as quickly as they can. Slide Job, are you still there?
I think you left.
Okay. I was just kind of curious what was going on with that with the 56. I'm not quite sure what was going on for him or with him, or if he was just lagging or what, but it was definitely something that they'd have to pay attention to the last time when the pace car went to go by him, it actually did throw the pace car off his line a little. So it's kind of making me think that while it's a lag, but it may actually be affecting the line that the cars have got to go through. I don't know. Maybe I saw something differently than he did. Again, stream versus not on my screen kind of thing. So we'll see.
Yep. Well, but I'll say this though. I want to go back to the fuel situation for a minute because these guys still are going to have to run probably another 2 pace laps. I'm going to estimate, which will put them going back green with I think 16 or 17 laps to go. These guys do still have an opportunity to theoretically either maybe save under this caution by either maybe throwing her in a neutral, carrying some speed and then throwing a neutral, or just kind of coasting at a low RPM in a fourth gear, trying to save a little bit of fuel that way. They're only about a lap short, maybe not even that much. So it is doable, and it is possible to save within the draft and under green here. This could get interesting about how the rest of this race goes. The other thing, and I don't know if it's allowed or not, we'd have to, I guess, get maybe Slide Job to answer this if he can hear us. But is it maybe allowable because I know these guys do manual cautions like actual NASCAR does, which is lap cars pit 1 lap and lead lap cars pit another. So is it possible for lead lap cars to come back down and top off on fuel? If so, that could be an option for some guys if it's allowed.
That's a great question, and I would imagine it would be. Like you said, they can do it in real NASCAR. In fact, it looks like the 25 right now, he's gone ahead and gone to coast mode. Either that or just a little bit of a lag by him. That's the 25 of Booty Slayer 969, and he's got the 69 car of the Joker's HQ. They're going to take one more lap around Atlanta before we set him back green. So this also is going to help them save that much needed amount of fuel in order to go the rest of the way. Again, as Tom comes by the line, it says 16 laps remaining. So you figure that's 2 laps under caution. They should be able to go the rest.
Oh, can you see his fuel? I'm interested to see if he's been able to save.
Let's see. It's saying 18 laps. So yeah, looks like the 12 would be good to go.
It's interesting. I'll be interested to see if the rest of these guys have that advantage. I'll say this: if you're up front in this group pacing, you are at a little bit of a disadvantage in some ways trying to save fuel because of the fact of you had to be a little bit more careful about holding pace speed and things like that because you have a lot more cars behind you to check up. There's a lot more risk versus if you're a little bit further back in the field, you can kind of manage that a little bit better, a little bit easier. So interesting to see if that's going to come into play here.
Well, we're about to find out. Pace car has pulled off from the track, going down pit road. We're actually going to take the restart with this 21 car, and we're actually going to scratch that. Jumbled up right there. Looks like some people didn't go at the line, so we are like 2 and 3 wide. 46 in the middle. Light Sniper down on the bottom, able to hold on to it. Good job for holding your line there, 16.
What a move.
Yeah, what a move. Way to get in, get down, hold that line, keep the bottom, not hit the line to bounce back up. And with that little bit of great driving, because he didn't get into the 46, there wasn't a chain reaction wreck behind him. Congratulations. But there is some contact in the back coming through the trial. I think we're going to be back under caution.
And if so, that'll be good for some of these guys. The other thing I don't know, I couldn't completely tell. I could only see part of the field on the camera that I had for the restart. But with that little bit of a jumble up, is it possible there is a penalty for changing lanes before the start-finish line? Now, there is some leniency there with avoiding wrecks, but is it possible maybe somebody did that? I don't know. That'll be something we'll have to keep an eye on from officials.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm still waiting to see if Tom Willoughby goes ahead and backs it down, or if they're gonna keep it green because there's just one car that was sitting on the track. Nope, Tom is still under full fuel, or under full throttle rather. We're gonna stay green here, Harvey.
Well, and I don't know. Some of these guys maybe wanted to keep it green if they're better on fuel. Some of these other guys might not have. I don't know. I don't know everybody's situation. We know that the 12 is good on fuel. I expect probably a few other guys, especially that were pacing a little bit further back, to be in the same boat. As for these guys that were pacing up towards the front, it's kind of up in the air question right now. Just kind of depending on how good you were saving that fuel under caution. I think that's what this is going to come down to now. Yes, did go screen. Is fuel mileage for this stage.
Yep. Oh, let's see. At the line, as the 12 comes off 4, it looks like we have 11 laps remaining. So I'm going to work my way back up towards the uh, top of the running order to see the 21 of Zachary right here, falling right in behind. I want to say that's the 60. Yep, it's going to be the 44. All right, so you got the 44 and then the 21.
Yes, sir. I'll say that 44 actually looks like a. I don't know that I've seen him up in this top 4 most of this day. So a new player up here.
Yep, 44 is going to be Colin Duke. Colin Duke. So yeah, Colin Duke. 117. Definitely looking pretty strong right now. Passing by a car that's kind of creeping on in down pit road. Looks like he's going to barely make it. But 44.
Gonna guess that's the car that's on the front. Yes, indeed. Oh boy. And what he's gonna try to have to do is force him into maybe a little bit more of a mistake. If 21, if he really wants to get around.
And you know what? After
get to
almost
bottom.
2 complete stages, I finally figured out how to tell these 2 teams apart. Palmetto has blue spoilers and Hatch has red. So there we go. Oh, jeez, I tell you. All white cars is just one different colored fin. Why not?
I mean, it works, but it's hard to tell when you're just looking at a glance.
Right. A whole bunch of white cars with different colored spoilers. So, but that's all right. No, good job by all these
different
guys.
hats on. We'll see though.
Like your top 2 are both out of Palmetto. It looks like 3rd is going to be with Hatch. 4th and 5th are a mixture of the 2 as well. 21's going to go ahead and be able to take that lead. Not sure if the 40 Sports said, you know what, I see you're right there with me. You're a little bit faster. Go ahead and pull it down low. That's exactly what happened. And now your top 5 are all nose and tail.
And watch out for this lap car up here too. I don't think it'll be a factor. I think we'll be able to get up and out of the way, but it could be a problem. You're catching a slower car and at a very high rate of speed.
Well, let's see. At the line this time, Tom Williams telling me 6 laps remaining. So, yep, that is definitely possible. You know, I'm almost wondering. This looks like the same lap car that the 21 caught at the end of stage 1. I was wondering if this is the guy that is testing out fuel mileage. If he does lose a lap, he gets it right back, and then he's trying something out for the long run. But stage 3 isn't like, it's not terribly long. Stage 3 is only 56 laps. So if you can't keep on the lead lap by saving fuel, if that's what this guy's trying to do, either 51 or 50 laps, 56, I think it's going to be that much of a difference.
Well, I think that maybe because, and I'll get to this, and I gotta crunch a few numbers under the stage caution, but I think the way the 3rd stage works out, if there's no cautions, I actually think there might be a little bit of fuel mileage and a fuel gain to be played there. But I'll crunch those numbers under the stage caution and see what I can come up with. And that might be what he's testing, though, if that does end up being the case.
Gotcha.
A little experimental run. By the way, cautions are closed. I forgot to mention 5 to go when they hit. That closed all the cautions for this stage, so we're going green the rest of this stage. Pit road going to close it 2 laps ago, so if you run out of fuel and you go down pit road, you might get a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, very well could be, and a little bit of contact there, a little bit of scrape along the side between the 12 and the 69. Both were able to keep it moving, though 12 kind of washed up a little bit higher on the track than he probably thought he would. Worm Rider, that should be a little bit better. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the boom was so far away from my mouth. Harvard, do you hear me better?
Yes, sir.
All right. Harvick, please let me know if that's better on your side. But or not Harvick,
It's not clear.
Worm Rider
Oh.
rather.
Oh, contact!
Yeah, see the 12 hard into the outside wall. That's going to allow quite a few guys to work their way on by him.
It's not going to be helpful for him either. He won't have damage. Also, I've noticed these front guys up here, especially around where the 21 is, kind of spread out a little.
Yeah, they absolutely are. There was a pack of 5 all running together. Now it's really just just these 2 Palmetto cars riding, nose to tail. Then you got a Hatch car in 3rd, and unfortunately the guy that's in 4th and on back is just a little bit further away. We're going to try to work our way through the field now that we can actually see who's where. But this big BZ guy, he's got a ton of damage to the back and the front of his Camry. I'm going to guess that this is the guy that was about to be lapped, but it's not going to happen here in stage 2. Looks like Cole is going to go ahead and win that one. I can see the streamer going through the full lineup right now, but Cole, let's see, Zachary 7007 is going to go ahead and win that with Cole coming in P2.
Good run for both guys there, picking up some more points, and of course, Sludge, I'll be back in here to get you an update on that. Now, if stage ends up being 56, I will say this, sometimes with the game, it can vary a little bit with stage numbers. Should be about 55, 56 though. If it does come to be 56, which I think it should, what's going to end up happening, it's going to be a 2-stop stage. If you can save fuel, because on 18 laps of fuel, pit stops come at 18 and 36. Now your last stop will be at 54, which will put you 2 laps short if you can save and not have to make the 3rd stop. Green flag, back out.
Yep, green flag back out. 21 of Zachary and his Palmetto teammate, the 44 of Colin Dew, 117 on the front row. Looks like right behind them are a couple of red fins from Hatch Racing. It's going to be the 69 of the Joker versus HQ. And not quite sure, wasn't able to grab that number all that quick. Looks like it might be the 26, I'm going to guess, maybe a fly shooter. He's the only other 20 car that I see right there. So again, as it was in stage 1 and stage 2, both Palmetto and Hatch running very, very well with each other.
Yes, and I will mention before we get the points update from Slack out here shortly, hopefully. Of course, remember Hatch was a little bit behind the 8 ball at the start of stage number 2. Had a pretty sizable gap. I want to say it was probably about 27, 28 points, somewhere in that area, that they were down. Now, that was definitely doable. I saw it done last night by Thursday Night Thunder in the Atlanta race. So, that was ran here last night also. So, I mean, it was doable. We'll have to see what it comes out to here. I'll also say, I believe the 37 that unfortunately blew an engine during last stage, I believe he was also out of the Palmetto guys' camp. So that's going to hurt them a little bit if he was.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that lags out will definitely take away some points towards your grand total. Right now, with 52 laps remaining, these Palmetto guys all on that bottom line. Couple of Hatch and Palmetto on the outside, but really going through 3 and 4. Keep digging. It's the bottom line versus the middle line. Again, we can get 2 and 3 wide here. We've seen it done before. Worm Rider got a front row seat last Thursday night, and for a championship race that I called, and man, you can absolutely get it done. Yep, HRL is in the red spoiler.
All right. Well, there we go. So, looking up back where the 21 is, he still holds the lead. I'll say this, that dude, 21, Mr. Zach up here, this man has been on it all day long, all night long, I guess. It's dark outside my house. But, it's daytime in Atlanta on this TV screen. But, yeah, he's been Probably, I would argue the dominant car. Him, and I saw the 16 up here for a little while. I saw the 14. I'm sorry, not the 14. The 44 up here. And I think I saw the 69 around here at one point, 52. There's been quite a few fast guys. That usually what we've been seeing throughout these runs is the top four kind of pull away into their own little pack and kind of ride amongst themselves. But yeah, this 21 has probably been the fastest car all night. So.
Oh yeah, Zachary 7007 has absolutely been laying it down. He's been running qualifying laps. He's actually lapped a guy a couple times. Not quite sure if it was all due to damage or what, but yeah, that 21's definitely been hooked up. One one stage one, very very close to winning it in stage two, and he's up front yet again.
Yes, sir. These guys, actually, I'm looking. I think he's starting to begin to
Yeah, Elmut Gaming,
out
you
a
were
little.
definitely fast out there. Sorry to see you lagged out, but man, you definitely put on a hell of a show. You had a fast car. It's kind of sad to see the 37th parked when it came across you. But man, great race. Good job, buddy.
Yes, sir. Very, very fast. Right up along with the rest of these guys. Top four, top five. Very fast car. Sorry to see you out early, man. But looking back up here with 21 is, remember how we talked about they kind of started to spread out a little bit and kind of pull away? Well, they seem to be doing that again. This thing has been... Oh! I don't know if that was a lag or not, but I saw somebody snipe.
Well, looks like everything's all right. It's on the up and up right now. But yes, Zachary is he's got this car on rails right now. Really, there's a couple people around, but probably more draft. I don't want to say the guys behind him are slow by any other means, but right now it's Palmetto, and then it's Hatch, then it's Palmetto and Palmetto. That's going to be your top four. Looks like P5 is also Palmetto, and 6 is also going to be Hatch Racing. So 5 of your top 6 drivers all out of the Palmetto stable. A couple in there from Hatch right now. You see that 26 right here, Fly Shooter 420, running in P2 behind them. All single file back to a couple guys a little bit further back that are running side by side.
Yes, sir. And it looks right now, what's going to have to happen, I don't want to assume right now, but just based on the way these Palmetto guys have been running, especially the last stage or so, and as of right now, I think Hatch guys are going to have to try something. I'm going to guess they may still be behind the 8-ball a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything before we get the points update from Slide Job. But if they are, they're going to have to, at least right now as it seems, try to come up with some crafty strategy or get some cautions that fall their way and try to get some of these other guys off the team back up here in this top 5, top 10. That's where the most points are going to fall, and they need them right now.
We got
boy
around.
Well, talked about a caution.
And
I guess that's what happened.
Yes, I'm guessing something happened in the back, and that guy either went to slow down and got loose, or there might have been contact. Not 100% sure, but I was about to say off of the 12 stream, he was actually showing in 4th place before that car went around in front of him, made contact with the outside wall. So that means these other 4 cars, including the Hatch car that's right in front of him, was a lap down. So I'm not quite sure about this running order. I'm guessing we've got maybe some cars that stayed out and others that were up there running among the leaders. Because I don't believe they've had enough time to really lap anybody. But with this caution, we've got 40. I think that was 42 laps remaining. So if they can go 19 and 19, we're talking about 38. It's going to be may be a little bit of fuel strategy, but again, they're not going all the way on fuel. They're going more for tires.
Yes, sir. And I'll say this. Let's see. Break it down. Most guys have been probably hitting about 18. I saw, I think, one or two go 19 early on. Pit road will be open this time, I think. So we'll probably go let's see, 41 right here. And then we're going to have another lap for any lap down cars out there maybe that have to pit. So we'll probably go back to green. I'm going to estimate with about 38, 39 laps to go, which is kind of right on that window. If they can go 19 on fuel for both. Kind of puts them right on that window where they can borderline make it if they save under this caution. However, I expect most of these guys probably aren't making 19 on fuel. They're probably making about 18 in that realm. I've seen some guys pit a little bit sooner than that, so it's going to be interesting. If this goes green, fuel mileage is going to come back into play, I think.
Yeah, we definitely, with pits open, some guys are out there on the track. I'm going to guess those are all the lap down cars out there on track right now, and all lead lap cars just came down. So this will definitely separate those, a lap down and those not. So we'll get a clear running order once we get back to green. But pace car has these other cars that are a little bit further in the back right now. Looking at NASCAR Rocks 47, driving this 66 for Hatch. In front of him, it's I believe that's going to be the 26, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I'm sorry. That's going to actually be the 4 of Mick Warrior. That was the car that I was trying to figure out earlier. I was like, "There's no 1." No, I was just seeing the the up and down of the 4. But here's E Hall out of the Palmetto stable. Looks like he might be a lap down as well. We'll have to see if these guys all pit together.
We'll see, and I'll tell
here
you
they
what.
come.
If any of these guys stay out, maybe try to take a waiver round. Don't think so. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it looks like everybody came, so tell you what, this is gonna put them in a weird box when it comes to the fuel, and I'll try to see where we come out. I think we're gonna end up going green with about 39 or 38 to go. It kind of depends on once all these pit stops finish up, how many
Worm Rider out with a little bit of news saying confirmed Rowdy Energy withdrew in stage 3 against OMA. We'll have to see, get the news on that once Worm Rider comes in. But yeah, he's saying that that Rowdy Energy left the race. Something must have happened. We'll have to get more on that later on.
My nosy side's gonna kick in now. What happened? But
yep, Beast Football's 52. Thank you very much for the follow, sir. Definitely appreciate you.
But I will say, though, if that is the case, congrats to Illinois Motorsports Association for advancing to round number 2, which is the road course round. And hopefully those guys from over there hop in over here and watch this thing close down. We'll see. I believe we might have a new visitor. Oh, never mind.
All right, so pace cars picking up the field. This will be the last lap under caution. Not sure what that car all the way back there was doing. Kind of pulled out. Looked like he was going to try to run a portion of the road course.
Road racing. That's not this round. That's next round.
Let me see. Worm Rider, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, please.
Oh, he's getting the free pass, I believe. That might be what's happening. We'll see, though.
Okay, so...
We'll see. I also asked 2P when you get a chance. I'd be interested to see where we stand on for the 12 car lap to fuel ratio to go right now as we come back.
All right. Worm, if you back out and come back in, you should see a beautiful sword next to your name. There you go. Can you please get rid of those solicitations? All right, but all right, back on the green. Sorry about that, guys. I tried to block all that. Just I missed one, unfortunately. No, I don't buy any of the people that come through and follow or subscribe. I try to do it all by the content that I show. A big wreck in the middle of the backstretch. We'll have to see if it collected more than one car. Definitely saw one guy go hard into the inside wall as
That's probably going to be
Zachary
another caution.
7007 comes across the start stripe right there. We'll have to see.
He's still full song.
Yep,
No
still
caution yet.
Yep, still full song. They might have thought that because they were too close to the start stripe, they didn't want to back it down right there. We'll have to see. Coming through 3 and 4, still Zachary 7007 in the lead with one of his Palmetto Racing teammates right there with him. And then a cluster of cars. Here's the 52 to the outside. Big
Oh boy.
Nope, that was just everybody backing it down. 52 didn't want to run into the back of the 21. Heads up, guy. Great track awareness by the 52. Way to keep that car undamaged. Good job.
Yes, indeed. That was a very close call. You don't want to damage it, especially not at this point in the race. Now, what this means, depending on where we are in laps to fuel, this is either going to give guys an opportunity to save if they choose to. Now, we only ran about 2 laps there under the green, but that is 2 laps worth of tire wear. This is also going to put another car on the lead lap, by the way, might I add, at least just because of the free pass. So that will put one more car back on the lead lap with the rest of these guys, or at least what I would assume to be the lead lap. Somebody will get 1 lap back at least.
Yes, somebody will definitely get their lap back. So that string of cars that we saw earlier will shrink by 1 with 35 laps remaining. We are right at the window now where everybody will be able to make it on one more pit stop. Looks like the pace car is going to fly on around the 21 and the 52, collect up the field. As long as the field is together, they should open pit road this time by. I imagine everybody will, even though they were just down pit road, I imagine that they will go down this time and grab those 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods, fill it up with Sunoco Racing Fuel, come on back out, race for this. But you know what they say, Harvick, caution breeds caution. And with so much on the line here, everybody between Palmetto and Hatch, they want to advance to the next stage. What are they willing to do? I don't want to see a whole, I don't want to see a wreck fest. I'd like to see some hard driving with maybe a little bit of contact, but you know what? Still race clean, race respectfully.
Agreed. Now, something that I actually wouldn't be too surprised to see right here, because we went so little distance on the tires. I agree with you. I think everybody's going to be down pit road right here to top off the tanks. But we only ran a couple laps on tires right there. I'm not going to put it out of the question for some of these Hatch guys to maybe try to throw on 2 tires and try to see if they can jump out ahead of these Palmetto guys and see if they can get some track position. I won't throw it out of the question. We'll have to see what they do. That could be an option, though. Very few laps on the left side.
Yeah, very few. And to be honest with you, the left sides really have never been much of an issue here at Atlanta. It's always been the right front or the right rear. If you drive a very, very loose car and you use the right rear to turn more than not, you tear up that right rear pretty quick. If you put too much wheel into the car to get into the corner and you slide the front, that's where your right front wears down. That's why I was saying earlier, you really want to just put enough input in to get that car to turn. Yeah, when you're battling, you're probably going to put more into it than you really need, but that's really where you got to stay calm, stay level-headed. Most of these guys have been around for a while, even though Hatch has been around since 2015, where Palmetto's only been around since February. So, but these guys aren't new. At least I would imagine that they're not new anyway. They've probably been around for a while, maybe Heat 3, Heat 4, or before. Who knows? Some of these guys can go back to NASCAR 07 like I do. They know what they're doing, but they're just at the mercy of the preset gods.
Indeed, and I'll say it looks like we have a few guys, and this isn't a bad strategy, maybe taking the wave around. Is that what I'm seeing? That's not a bad strategy either if you're stuck a lap down. taking the waiver run right there, getting your lap
Absolutely
back.
not. Nope, that's not a bad strategy at all. You think about it. Again, cautions, they could breed cautions. If they take the wave round, guess what? They're back on the tail end of the lead lap. They get to go ahead and pit, and they're right back in the show. And again, we're within the realm of just one more pit stop. We're going to go ahead and pick up the leaders. Looks like it's going to be the 17, a Timmy 17. First time we're talking about that. He's a car under the hatch stable with the 21 to his outside. Zachary
Wondering if you maybe
777, been talking about him all night long.
heard me. Wonder if maybe the 17 heard me. Maybe tried that 2 tires. Got him up here if that's what he did.
Yep. But coming off 3 and 4 one more time. Here they come. Timmy 17 is going to be the control car. Looks like they're going to go one more lap under caution, so this is going to save it even more. Now 32 laps remaining. So that means, without a doubt, they could go as hard as they want, not worry about the tires. When they were having to go 19 laps, 18 laps, that's really where they had to worry. The tires were screaming at them by the time the run was over. Now that they're in the ballpark where they can go 16 and 16 if they had to, that is if they stay green, they could run flat out and take care of business.
I think we have
Real
a visitor.
quick. Yep. Sorry for the delay. Points update for stage 2. PRL 37, Hatch Racing 18. PRL still leading.
Do we have the official gap on that?
That would be 78 to 32.
All right.
Big
so,
gap.
well, right now Hatch is definitely in a position to try to max out their points. 17 is going to be the control car that I mentioned. You've got the 21 of Zach to his outside. That 21 has been strong since the drop of the green on the race tonight. Still a whole lot of cars on track. Only a few have lagged out. 17 is going to get a great jump with the 52 right behind him. 21 is going to be able to fall in line right in front of the 44. Again, that 44 is also out of the Palmetto stable. First through fourth, all nose to tail. Behind them, going to be 3 wide coming off of 2.
Oh boy! I think these guys' aggression level picked up.
Absolutely. Now again, everybody from here they can go with just one little pit stop left.
Indeed. And I'll say this too. I'll bring this up at the pit stop. Now with a lot of these guys not being so tight to a pit window of being very close on making it with 1 or 2 stops, there's a little bit of a gap now. So I'm going to bring up the conversation again once we get to about 18 to go. Especially these Hatch guys maybe trying to pull a short pit. They're about 46 points down right now. That's a big number to make up in one stage. They need to get these guys. Really, they probably need to somehow find some way to get as many guys as they possibly can in front of these Palmetto guys. Because that's a pretty big gap. And it looks like we're on caution again.
Yep, back under caution just as these guys were really, really getting racy. We saw that 52 try to come on down, side draft to 17 just a little bit, didn't work. There you see the pace car coming on by. Once the lights were lit, he pulled on out, going to collect the field, try to save as many laps as possible that we get back under green sooner than later. Wormrider, I gotta agree with you, man. A lot of blue spoilers in the top places, but right now everybody's chasing that 17 of Timmy 17. He was able to hold them off, and as these guys come down pit road, which I have no doubt they will, they'll more than likely they're going to be chasing him still. All depends on these the RNG gods of pit stop time. So we'll have to see.
Well, and now the guys that I can guarantee you will be back down pit road right here. I'm not going to guarantee all these guys will, because we only ran about a lap there, I think. But definitely those guys that took the wave around under the previous caution are going to be in right here.
No, we talked a little bit earlier about these leagues and how long they've been around, and what their communities are like. Please, feel free. On the bottom of your screen, you see the Twitter DL, or the Twitter DL, the Twitter handle rather, for Palmetto. Unfortunately, Hatch didn't have one, but they do have a Facebook if you look them up. Of course, Harvick fan, there's his Twitter. Unfortunately, we lost our third, but hopefully he's all right. And then of course mine, and then the Fast Family Twitter. Please, by all means, guys, give a follow. That way, you always know every time either Harvick goes live with eSpark or whatever he's doing, or I go live with NNR or any of these other races that I'll be calling. In fact, kind of give you a little bit of a heads up. Tomorrow, I will be right back here with the American Ethanol Cup Series right alongside Shake and Bake. Now, that's not Shake and Bake as in Frozen's League. That is a not a fake, a a Shake and Bake that is fairly new. That's what I wanted to say. Shake and Bake crew. That's maybe they didn't know the name was already used or what, but it's Shake and Bake Racing League a crew that started this January. So yeah, tomorrow night the American Ethanol Cup Series versus Shake and Bake Racing, 9:30 p.m. will be at Las Vegas. Also
And guess
tomorrow
what?
night is
I'm back with you.
are you? Very cool. Yeah, I think it's you and I, and then I almost said Jake from State Farm. You and I, and yeah. Um, I'm I forget it's I'm Rick James. There we go. That's why I had Jake.
Ah,
But yeah, so it's gonna be you, me, and I'm Rick James 36 in the booth. And then also you got the Piston Cup versus Nashbros League. They're gonna be at Charlotte. Not quite sure who their commentary group is, but either way, it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. That Kid Crash, thank you very much for the host, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, Jake from State Farm. I heard that gamer tag. I think it was actually in
it
your
was in the
Discord.
eSpark.
Yeah.
ESpark.
Oh God, these names get so mixed up after a while. Swats, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Been a great race so far. A lot of guys on pit road under caution with about 30 laps remaining. And this is Palmetto versus Hatch. Uh, the points there is a bit of a gap, and man, it's
46.
yep, 46 points. So Hatch definitely is yeah, man. We'll have to see. Right now a driver from Hatch was in the lead. We'll have to see how the rack stack back up here behind the 57 pace car of TBR Pride. So all right, so we got the 52-21, and so no Hatch cars. It looks like in this top five. So all Palmetto, all blue spoilers in at least the first. Looks like 3 rows. 52's gonna be the control car, and they're gonna take it one more pace lap. So yet another lap where they're gonna be able to go around, save their tires. Once Timmy comes across the line this time, it says we've got 20. What? Yeah, 25 laps. So been a pretty lengthy caution, but yeah, they're trying to make sure that they get everybody right back where they're supposed to be.
Well, and I tell you what, this is going to put us in an interesting spot now. If we go back green it'll be 24 to go when they hit the line. Pit window opens 6 laps from then, assuming we don't get any more, too many more cautions. Which I think, to your point, Pete, cautions seem to be breathing cautions. That seems to be the oxygen in the air today, especially in this final stage. But if we go from now to lap 18 to go, that opens the pit window back up to make it on fuel from there, which could create some interesting pit strategy. I think if you're a Hatch car, I think you throw a gamble. If this goes green, you take a 2-tire stop there, just what you need on fuel. They need something right now because it's not looking good with all these Palmetto cars up here, top 5.
Well, here we go. Back under green, 52 and the 21. 12 car right there in P4, still side by side. Gonna go ahead and dive it on down into one behind the 12. Looks like it's gonna be not quite sure. But Worm Rider just said out there in chat, 7 of the 10 guys go up further in this pack are all Palmetto guys. So
They need something.
yep, absolutely. Kind of keeping an eye here. I apologize. Go ahead, Arvin.
No, I was gonna say these boys, they need something. They need really some strategy coming to what should be 23 to go right there at the line, or when they get back to the line. Or no, actually, it should be 22. My bad. But pit window coming up shortly, and I think once that pit window opens, assuming we don't get a caution, which I won't rule out right now, the way the stage has gone so far today. But as long as we don't get another, never mind. Forget what I just
Yep. Never mind. Here it is again. Caution. I want to say it's like caution 6. For other than the stage is 21 to 52. They were definitely up there. So is the 12 and the 16. Riding along with Night Sniper 5 right now. He's got a couple of hatch cars right behind him, as well as one of his teammates. These guys are going to be dueling it out to the end. A little bit of a sucker punch there from not quite sure who this was. The guy in the Joker color car. Let me see who's this here. Right behind his Camry.
You don't want to be making contact under caution either, because it's going to cost you more time on pit road. You're going to probably have to pit to fix that damage, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's actually this American Rebel car. I'm not sure if he and the guy on his outside got together before that or not, but American Rebel, I think, might have shown a moment of displeasure and shoved the guy that was outside of him up into the wall, and definitely not something that you want to see.
All right, I tell you what, I don't know if we'll have to see or if that develops into anything else, but it might be something the officials may end up looking into as well. I know in the brief that we were given before the race, they don't want to see things like that. So we'll have to see if that develops into anything from a rules standpoint.
Yep.
But for right now, coming to what, 20 to go, Pete?
We've got to be pretty close. It looks like Tom Willoughby's stream is having a little bit of an issue right now, so not 100% sure. Okay, so Worm Rider's saying 19 laps remaining. Thank you very much for all the help there, Worm. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'll tell you what that means.
That means everybody's.
All these guys going to be in.
The only thing is, again, you're talking about 19 laps. All right, 19 laps on fuel, yes, but 19 laps of hard racing side by side where everybody's trying to get the next position in order to advance for max points. I don't know. Man, you're really asking a lot for that right front of that right rear to really hang in there. Not to mention if anybody under that last caution only took right side tires like what we had mentioned. So, man, there's so much that could play out right here. We'll have to see what these guys decide to do. But definitely seeing a whole lot of blue spoilers from Palmetto pull off pit road. I mean, first through sixth at least right here. But once the pace car comes by the entrance to pit lane next time, I'm sure any remaining lap cars, including the guy that gets the lucky dog, will cycle back around, and we're going to get stacked back up one more time.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if there's anybody a lap down right, what you need to go ahead and do, because of the way the stage is gone, especially if you're out of the Hatch Racing League camp, what you need to go ahead and do, take your wave around. I don't think any other lead lap car stayed out. You need to go ahead and take your wave around, get yourself back on the lead lap, because you need to get yourself in position for points right now. That's the ultimate goal. At this point, you need to be willing to throw everything out on the table, because you got a lot of points to gain, and you don't have a lot of time to get them back. So you got to try something Maybe a little bit crazy, but you got to try something.
Yeah, you've got to. And I mean that's their that's really their only silver bullet is to catch them off guard. But with this many blue spoilers up front, it's gonna be hard for Hatch to work their way through. I mean, it's like it's a parade of blue from first through fifth, and then you have your first couple of hatch cars in sixth and seventh and in eighth, and then also in ninth. So it's like the first five are all Palmetto, and then sixth through tenth. Watching that guy in the back swerving and might have lost a little control. Sixth through tenth is all hatch. So Palmetto's where they want to be. Hatch wants to be where Palmetto's at. So, um, it looks like we're going to go one more pace lap yet again. Get everybody filed in their correct positions, and man, it's going to be a very very interesting. I got to say, probably about 15 laps remaining.
I would guess the same. I'll say this: the top 10 split pretty evenly right now. 5 from each group in the top 10. Problem is, for Hatch Racing League, they're on the wrong side of that. All 5 of their cars are in the bottom half of the top 10, and they need to really be on the other end of that. And probably maybe a little bit then some. Try to get some of those Palmetto cars out of the top 10 and get some more of their own cars in there, because 46 points is not a easy task. Um, it's doable, but they really got to put something together. I think a lot of teamwork from them. I will say this: I've seen this out of the Palmetto guys. They've worked really well as a team today, just trying to not race extremely hard with one another and really knock some of these guys like the 21. I've seen the 21 and the 52 racing pretty well today. While yes, they've been racing each other, it's kind of been a lot of more fall in line and follow and get your points. So.
Well, looks like pace car pulled off the track. He's going to go ahead and bring it down pit road one more time. 21 of Zach, 52 is outside, 44 the 12, and I believe the not quite sure which one was there in fifth. Couldn't quite see it, but we are back under green. 52 of Josh going to go ahead and take a great lead. Got an amazing start. 21 should be able to fall in right behind him, but 52 is clearly starting to set sail. Oh, we got contact in the back again. Hard into the inside wall and more.
That's going to be a caution. I have no doubt.
That's going to bring out another caution. I can imagine right now that Ford and Slide Job are all in race control, telling these guys they've got to calm it down.
We're still green.
Yeah, kind of.
Boy! That was a lag. Somebody lagged first 21.
It could be the same as we saw earlier, where they didn't want to throw the caution being so close to pit road, so they're racing back to it right now, and we'll have to see. Another car is going to go around off the bottom. He's going to spin around. That's going to be the 17 of Timmy 17, who led quite a few laps earlier. Looks like we're gonna stay green. Here's the 56 of Hatchman.
We'll see if they come back with that second incident to a caution. I'm gonna guess they will, but I seem to have been proven wrong the last couple laps, so we'll see. But a tough break for them. They definitely don't need to see that. The other thing I want to point out: the 21 has slipped back quite a ways with all that calamity going on around him. He slipped back a little from where he was.
I wonder if we are at the point where Slide Job and Ford Tough came to the. Okay, never mind. I was going to say maybe they came to the conclusion that, you know what, if we stack these guys back up, it's just going to result in another caution. Being how aggressive and everybody is on the take, nobody's going to give a spot right here. It's all about trying to advance to the next round. Right now, Palmetto is in position to take it. Hatch wants it, and they're not just going to roll over.
Well, and I tell you what, though, the thing that's going to hurt them, I saw one of their cars, I believe that was, I think you said the 17, they got in trouble in that second incident there coming off turn 4, and that's not something they need. And also, I think I actually just realized why that caution might have took so long to go out. Pace car goes down pit road, well, that means the AI takes them over. And I think that might have been what they were waiting for, was the pace car driver to get control of his own car once again.
That could very well be. Yeah, that absolutely could because yeah, he would have still been going down pit road in the pits, coming on out of the pits, and yeah, so you're probably right. But all your leaders here on pit road going to come on in one last time, hopefully to grab four brand new Eagles. And I would imagine just a splash, or you know what? Maybe this is where they do what you said earlier: take just right sides, no gas if they were good to go from before, keep the car light, really get it into the corner and dig. I mean, you could take a little bit of fuel, but why weigh it down? Most of the
Agreed.
most of those guys that put put those blistering laps up that you see in the heat community pages and whatnot, that most of the time is on like little to no fuel where they barely make it around to complete the lap. And it's with four brand new tires. So these guys could be in pretty good position. We'll have to see how it pans out. But Palmetto was trying to hold back Hatch. Hatch trying to make their way to the front. They need max points in order to have a chance. Right now, Pace Car's got them all. They're wanting to go. They're chomping at the bit. It's not going to be much longer. You see the four duck on down pit road. Again, that four is the McWarrior 555. He's going to pull on down one more time. Maybe he forgot to pit before, or maybe he was the lucky dog. Not quite sure.
We'll see. I'll tell you what. I don't know. Something that I wouldn't have been too surprised to see is maybe and I think a lot of these lead lap cars are kind of starting to figure out, especially these Palmetto guys that we've seen pit on many of these cautions. They haven't run too many laps, and the way this race is going, it doesn't seem like they're going to run too many laps consecutively. And I think now they're probably thinking, you know what? I am not running too many laps on my tires right now. It's crazy back there. I don't want to take the chance of something that I would recommend Hatch Racing if they're given the opportunity to do, which is stay out completely under one of these cautions. If a lot of those Palmetto guys pit, try to get yourself up front. We haven't been running too many laps under green, like I said. That track position, getting yourself up there, if you can hold on to it for a lap or two, get a caution, hold yourself up there, and get to the end of this thing. Might not be a bad move, but it doesn't seem they've really been given too much of an opportunity to do that right here. And I think that's because the Palmetto guys probably may be thinking in that same mindset, but in an inverse sort of. They don't want those Palmetto guys, the Hatch guys to get up in front of them if they pit, because track position is just too crucial right now.
Yeah, quite a few cars working their way on by the pace car. Go ahead and either grab a lap back or get back on the lead lap. We saw Hatch and we saw the 83, which was a substitute for Palmetto, go on by the pace car, as well as one or two others. But looks like the 16 and the 44, again 16 of Night Sniper and the 44 of Colin New 117. He was up front earlier, so he's found his way back to the point as well. Behind these guys, I see now I actually see a mixture of blue and red spoilers. It looks like all along the bottom line, it's going to be all blue. It's going to be the 44, 25, and the 52. On the outside of them, it's all Hatch. Behind them is Hatch. So right now, Palmetto has the preferred line on the outside. If they keep the momentum coming off the corner, Hatch might be able to get something done there. The pace car is going to go ahead and pull it on down off track one more time. Worm Rider saying, here comes HRL. We'll have to see off 3 and 4. 44 warming up the tires. I'm so tired of saying worm, or not tired of saying worm, but saying worm so often. Yeah, now I can't even say warm.
Here we go.
How about that? But here we go, back under green. We already got a car around sliding through the grass. That makes 2. And I would imagine as they come back around, the caution will be out. In the way that they raced 2 of these cautions, this 28, I think it is. Not quite sure who that was. They threw a hell of a block, caused a whole lot of action up on the high side. 16 and the 52, they're racing side by side. That Joker car, yeah, that car I said painted like a Joker, made a bunch of contact coming through there. and he's not going to have too many friends when this is all said and done. Back under caution.
That was 9 to go. I don't know if you lost the stream or not, but that was 9 to go.
That was
Okay.
nope. I still got the stream.
Okay, cool.
Nine
Thank
laps to
you. I like
go.
it.
As you heard from Pete and Sludge out there. Tell you what, I've noticed something. The last couple, since we've been having these little short runs, 21's been kind of caught on the bad side of some jumble ups. He's been a dominant car all day, but he's slipped pretty well back in the running order right now from where he was running even just 10 laps ago. I'm sorry, did I say the 19? I'm at the 21.
That's right. Let me actually go ahead and double check my stream. Yep, everything with the stream looks like it's still on the up and up. Absolutely, Worm Rider. That was definitely some doors slamming on that one from both teams. They weren't. Again, these guys, they're not going to give an inch. They're good. They want to get. They want to get to the front. They want those max points. Davista, I'm not sure what that was, but yeah. Well, that car that's on the outside now behind the pace car, he got some action. He got sent down below the line, and he came right back up. He says, not I'm not taking that. Yeah, he got slammed down below, and he came right back up and gave the same kind of medicine back. Was it wrong? But you know what? It's at the end.
It is. Time is ticking down, and once we get to 5 to go, I'm going to point this out too because I have a funny feeling this is probably going to be our last caution. I might be wrong. It depends how many pace laps we take here, but it seems like we've been taking about pace laps. Caution. Well, when this caution came out, we had 9 laps to go. Cautions closed with 5 to go. There are no more cautions, so this could very well be our last caution. So, Pete, what do you think? From this standpoint, what do you do right here? Do you pit? Do you stay out? I guess looking at it from both sides of each team, what do you do?
I think the guys in the back doing exactly what they're doing right now. The guys further in the back coming on in. That 44 on this restart, he's got to hope for a great push from the 16 of Night Sniper. 44 is going to be on the gas, ready to go. Again, that's Colin Dew. He was very, very fast earlier, had it going. He's got the 16 has the 52 of Josh 5893 behind him. So up on the high side, it is all Hatch. On the bottom, it's all Palmetto. 3x3, side by side, 3 rows deep, and these guys are not done yet. What did Slide Job say there? It was 9 to go?
9 to go when the caution came out, probably 7 now.
Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, I did lose the stream of Tom Willoughby. If I can refresh that and bring it back up, I'd love to do it. It's still just buffering on my side, but that's all right.
Hopefully, we can get it back up. We are closing in, though. I do think this will be I do think this will end up being the last caution of the day. So, really, I guess this is your last chance. If you want some tires or some, maybe you'll fix your car for a short run because that's what this is going to end up being. You're not going to stretch the tires real long. That's not going to be a concern for anybody. Probably going to be 5 or 6 laps to go here. Probably 5.
It's whatever it is. It's going to be damn close to the point where no more cautions will fly. At that point, you can bet your bottom dollar that the admins and their spotters, their track officials, are keeping an eye on everything going on. They're not going to allow anybody to get away with any dirty or rough driving. We've seen complete community get eliminated for such action and not listening to officials. So they've shown once that they will pull a car or a team off the track for any kind of dirty driving. So Hatch and Palmetto would be very, very wise just to race it out cleanly. But on this bottom side, we're going to have the 44 to his outside is Man, these numbers, I tell you. Um, I know I called it before, but we are back under green. 44 may not have gotten the jump that he wanted. 16 might have been pushing a little too far, so he wasn't able to get down. 44 now in the bottom line. 69 is going to be able to work his way to the
Oh,
outside. One car, two
big
car,
trouble.
three cars
The
got
21 is
around
in
after
that.
making contact with that line. And if we are at that lap 5 mark, we are not going to have a caution. So right now, Hatch has two cars up in the lead. The 16 and the 44 are going to try to do all they can to try to catch back up to that top two. These guys have shown to be fast all night long. We'll have to see if they're able to run them down. With none of these guys took tires. Here comes another Hatch car. He's actually going to pull down below the 44. So the 16 will not have team help. He will have Hatch help. I don't think that guy's really going to allow him. The 16 is going to have to take an ultra low position getting into 3 and 4. That's going to push him up the hill. Here comes the 44. He's going to try to get under them. I'm going to guess this is about 3 laps remaining. Still Hatch 1, 2, 3, 44 and 16, P4, P5. All behind them are Palmetto cars.
Well, this is exactly what they needed. This is what they needed to go for. And the thing is, I think they're still going to need to get some more cars. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I think they need to try, if they can, to get some more cars from that group, from the Hatch group, up around some of these higher running Palmetto cars, try to get enough points, because I do think, however, this is going to make it close, but I think as it stands right now, I think Palmetto may still have the upper hand, but I think it would be a close gap once we get down, because Hatch is in a good spot right now to try to cut that gap down quite a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, Timmy 1-7, the one sole Hatch car that was able to work his way underneath the 16 and also work his way under the 4. I'm sorry, the 44 rather. He has since been moved to the back. Multiple cars were able to get under him going through the trial, where I had mentioned earlier in the stream, if you don't block that bottom line all the way through the trial, you may end up losing a position, and that's exactly what happened. So right now, first and second are Hatch, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are all Palmetto trying to run them back down. They will not have enough time.
I think I tend to agree with that. We're probably going to be, this is either the white flag lap or 2 to go. We don't have a lap count anymore. We lost our lap count. Oh, actually.
Nope, that's gonna be it. Yep, Worm Rider saying HRL finishing strong. That was the last lap. So 2 Hatch cars finishing first and second. Third, fourth, and fifth are all Palmetto. Behind them is going to be another Palmetto, and then the sole Hatch car. So these points are going to be very, very interesting to see how they shake out. We'll have to see if the admins feel any penalties are worth being dished out as well. Man, that's going to be a tough call, but yep, they'll make it if they have to.
Agreed. I will say there was a couple moves that I saw were pretty aggressive that I wouldn't be surprised to see the admins look into, but we'll have to see. I'm not going to speculate right now, but I think as it stands right now, I do think Palmetto still has the upper hand. I think while Hatch did everything they could right there, and I will say they've made a great recovery from how the rest of this race has gone for them, getting cars up inside the top 2, top 3. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Well, we'll definitely have to see. Now we're just going to wait for the one and only
Mr. Slide Job.
Yep, Slide Job or whoever. Thank you very much, Worm. Appreciate that. Saw that for a split second. But before Slide Job or Ford Tough or whoever comes on in, guys, I want to thank all of you for coming on out, hanging out with me and Harvick and Joker for the night. Unfortunately, we lost Joker, about a quarter of the way through. Not quite sure what happened there, but you know what? Thank you very much. At one point, we got just about 40 people in the lobby hanging out, chatting it up with me and Harvick. I want to thank you all for all of your input, keeping us up with the lap counts and whatnot. Worm Rider, thank you very much for dispensing of any unpleasantries. But man, these guys, Harvick, these guys, they they did everything that they possibly could to make sure that the race went down in a great fashion. While there were probably a couple too many cautions. They man, it was still a great race, and that just goes to show the passion that they really had for trying to put their community at the top of the running order at the point to move on to next week or
Well,
to the next
and
round rather.
I think passion's a good word there because I saw a lot of passion. I actually really do think. Well, we had a lot of cautions there. I think a lot of that was guys trying to be aggressive to try to get themselves up to the front because they want to move on. A lot of practice and work went into this. Like I mentioned, I think it's beginning of stage two for everybody. Don't want to see that fall for anyone. Obviously, somebody has to fall down. But both teams put up a great fight here tonight. However this ends, great job to both.
Absolutely, great job by both teams, um, and man, I'm Slide Job keeps asking me, hey, what's the next race that you can stream? What's the next race you can stream? When can you? I mean, after tonight's nights like this and broadcasting the NNR race with Atlanta and I'm Rick James, and then the NAR race with I'm Rick James. I'm excited about these races. I really am. I feel like there's a whole lot of people out here with a lot to prove that their community is better than the next, and in a showdown like this, that's really what it's all about. They want to move on from the speedway races. They want to get on to round two to the road course races. We've seen some teams get very, very upset. We've seen other teams advance in a dominant manner, and we saw some shootouts like tonight.
Yes, sir. And I'll say this too. Out of most teams, great sportsmanship out of everybody. That's the thing that I think we. Yes, the goal is to prove who the best and fastest league is. At the end of the day, we're all one. We all want to have fun ourselves in every race.
You're kind of cutting out there a little bit. Can you, or it
Uh-oh.
could have been, they could have been me. Um, but man, yeah, it's been definitely been a lot of fun. Just waiting on Slide Job or whichever admin's going to pop in. I know that we're also going to
Hmm.
talk to the team owner as well as I believe the top two, if I'm not mistaken, for a
Top
total of
three.
three. Top three. Okay.
Top three.
Slide Job, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, go ahead and interview. I would say American Rebel, our race winner, from
From
HRL.
from Yeah, so you know what? When I was going through the roster in the beginning of the stream tonight, I came across your gamer tag, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty bad. So, man, love the gamer tag, American Rebel. Congratulations on getting it done tonight for Hatch. You and I don't know who it was right behind you. It was kind of hard to see the number. Was it Biggs?
Uh, it was actually my teammate that was right behind me that finished.
Who was that?
Joker.
Joke. Okay. All right. Actually, somebody in chat, I think it was Worm Rider, says here comes Joker. So yeah, he called that as well. So the two of you were able to get by all the Palmetto cars that were on the bottom line, and then on the high side you had you three hatch cars. It really looked like it was going to be a dogfight, and that's actually how it wound up being. And then one of your teammates in the back tried holding up the rest of the Palmetto cars, the 44, the 16, and so on, to try to let y'all get further and further away, just racing them really, really hard. But in the end, the two of you it almost looked like a tandem race. The two of you were able to push your way ahead, keep on going. You got a big enough gap, be back to third. and you ended up coming home 1-2 for Hatch. Talk us through those last actually talk us through the last, what was it, 5 laps after the last caution.
Uh, we were pretty much just preaching to the rest of the team. Finish the best you can. Just try your hardest, and just try to salvage the night. We just had a perfect restart. Luck just got very lucky that we had teammates behind us to just duke it out with the other league. It's just came in the turn one, top lane just gets that better run, and pretty much I was just praying that the other league didn't catch up and trying to just secure it for our league.
Well, by getting the win, you got max points there. I think Palmetto took the first 2 stages. We'll have to see once everything is tallied up how that how that pans out. Harvick, do you want to talk to Joker?
Sure, why not? Joker, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, first, actually, let me ask, am I still cutting out? I tried to fix it.
No, you sound great,
Oh,
man.
you're cool. You're cool right now.
All right, cool. All right, man, I know you guys kind of had to, maybe not the best race for you guys, but at the end of the night, you guys found yourselves in the right position and you guys took advantage of it. Walk us through, I guess, first, how were the first 2 stages for you guys? And for
Well,
you,
at
I
the
guess, individually.
beginning, well, for me individually, I guess when we first started out, it was an okay start. A little, I guess, aggressive, which is, I guess, to be expected on the start of a race. Everybody's nervous and ready to go and wants to go, get to the front, do whatever they can. And then coming around the end of the first stage, I noticed a lot of aggressive driving, probably from both our team's ends, but we reported it. I feel like they tried to do the best they could to scout and find these drivers. We did get good callouts on drivers that really needed that call out for aggressive racing that they caught, which I highly appreciate and thank for. Coming to stage two, it felt really the same all the way through stage two. We were complaining about most all of our team. I think was complaining about the two same drivers the whole time, so we were getting really annoyed that nothing was actually happening. And during stage two, I believe I got a pass through penalty. I apologized both times for it because it was definitely my fault for the two accidents that happened. Then I guess I was frustrated because I got the pass through. I was more frustrated that each time we complained, we just kind of got put off like it didn't really matter. And most of our team, the whole race was just annoyed. They wanted to kind of give up, but a lot of us were saying just push through it. We can make it. And coming to the final stage, a lot of our guys got all their laps back. So they were persistent and determined to win this race. And I think we only had one of our guys on a lap down coming to the final restart. And then going through it, me and Sean will rebel here. Our idea was that I would get on his bumper and help push him through since we get a better run, and I'd stick in his draft. And that strategy worked out as they got shaky. The other team got shaky and got backed up. So me and Sean were able to pull a victory out of that. I think altogether it was a pretty solid race.
Oh, and great job to you guys working through all that adversity, coming home 1 and I believe 1-2. If I remember correctly, I don't have the results yet, but great job working through the adversity for you guys, coming home 1-2. Hopefully that helps you all in points enough, and I'll be interested to see how this turns out. Pete?
Yeah, I gotta agree. It's gonna be great. Slide job, go ahead.
Next, you're going to have. Hold on. You're going to have that was American Rebel and Joker. How about Zachary third place in the race, first for PRL?
Zachary, driver of the 21, can't forget it. But you showed to have a fast piece under you. I mean, stage one and stage two. At first, I thought that you didn't take stage two, but trust me, chat let me know that it was all you. Man, you had a hot rod. That 21 car seemed hooked up all night long. At the end, it was you. No, you ended up going around. It was the 44, the 16, and you ended up coming back up slowly. Talk us through the race from your standpoint, from a leading standpoint, and throughout the top five for most of the race.
Race went great. It took me a couple of pit stops in order to get the car where I wanted it. Um, but after that, it was pretty much on rails. I so in the beginning, the first two stages went really well. Obviously there was a little bit of beating and banging to be expected, and it happened. I want to say, we did have a pretty good, as far as PRL goes. We did have a pretty good stage 1 and 2 as far as that goes, and then we kind of got really what happened at the end is just a whole bunch of cautions came out. People were able to get on the lead lap, and it really kind of screwed up strategy just a little bit. But overall, I think the reason why we just got bogged down on the last restart was the guy leading started in third gear, so obviously that's not the preferred gear, and we all just stacked up. One of us went around, and that allowed everyone on the outside to get ahead of us. So we recovered well in the end, obviously, but not the day we wanted to go as far as the ending. But hopefully what we tried to salvage should hopefully we'll see get us to move on.
Well, I mean, Joker's, or I'm sorry, not Joker. Sludge, I'm definitely gonna have to come in with those. Harvick, you got next.
Who is next, Sludgeout?
So next for you is going to be Mr. Colin Dew, also from PRL, fourth place today.
Colin, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, I guess I'll ask the same question that I asked Joker. How did the first two stages go for you guys? Or I guess for you individually. All the cars from Palmetto looked really fast today. How was your car? How was the first two stages for you?
Yeah, PRL did really good in the first two stages, and my car was amazing. I got second in the first two stages, and the last stage wasn't the best. We had I don't know.
All right. Well, how was, I guess, looking for, I guess, all those cautions coming out kind of consecutively? What was your mindset on those restarts, particularly the last one? Walk us through the last restart from your point of view.
Well, on the last one, I think I started third, and I got pushed down underneath the apron. So that wasn't a good start for us, and we just got screwed over in the end. But I'm really hoping we get this win.
All right, man. Great job. Once again, really fast car. Hopefully, it's enough for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Sludge up.
All right, next on your list is going to be the third and final driver from PRL, Night Sniper.
Night Sniper. All right, Night, you were definitely up there. The 16, 44, 12. The 21. Big pack of four. It definitely seemed like at that restart, you guys all on that bottom line were gonna have the preferred line going into one, but it just didn't work out like that. As we've already mentioned. We're talking about you and the 12 of Shiny Tom, and of course the 21 of Zach, 44 of Colin. You guys were pretty much top five all night long. If you do actually proceed on to round two, the road course round, how do you see Palmetto being able to handle that? Are you guys a bunch of road course aces, or are you kind of thinking that's something that y'all really have to on?
Well, Pete, this is actually I'm not the person to be asking this because I'm fairly new to the league and league racing in general. This is probably my only about ninth or 10th race ever league racing and seriously racing NASCAR. But I can tell you that I think Zach is probably going to be the one to beat on the road course. He has got an absolute magic, especially for braking. Ran a 1 minute 17-second lap at the Roval when all the rest of us couldn't even beat 118 or 119. He is also incredibly fast at Watkins Glen. I practiced with him. He just ran away every single lap, and I thought that was one of my better tracks. Unfortunately, it appears not. So we're going to have to see. It's honestly going to be a wild card for us, and it's going to take a lot of practice. We're going to see who we're going to have to face up against and see if we can find out if they're any good or not.
Well, for somebody that's just started, you definitely know how to interview. Congrats, good man, good job tonight. Definitely, like I said, had our eye on you a little bit. If you go on back, watch the race. It was definitely enjoyable for both Harvick and I, and I'm sure being up there in the top five was enjoyable for you as well. A lot of caution or a lot of contact at the end, but man, congratulations on. On your top three.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, last driver interview of the day is going to be Big Biz from HRL.
All right, man. You there, Biz?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, I want to start by saying first, once again, great job to everybody throughout this whole thing. But Biz, walk me through the first two stages. I saw you guys kind of back. Really, traffic was kind of quite crazy at some points, and then other times kind of calm. How was traffic and dealing with that today? Throughout the
Traffic was absolutely hectic. We had guys on both sides that was slower than the guys coming up through the field, and they knew it. They was just racing, blocking, all that kind of stuff. And that's what resulted in a lot of the cautions tonight. It was just poor decisions and poor execution on a lot of people's parts. I had a top 5 car for the first stage. About halfway through, I messed that up coming out of pits. I caught the seam there coming out of turn 2, get on the backstretch, and making up a couple laps there at the end and finishing 6th.
Well, and I guess for you too, looking towards the end of the race and the final stage, what was your mindset going into that stage, and do you feel like there was anything you could have done to finishing position?
That final stage, I took the lucky dog, and when we came around to pit, just miscommunication, I guess. I missed my window to pit is what it was. So I didn't have no fresh tires. I was 2 laps on gas. Luckily, a caution came out, but I feel if I didn't have to pit, I'd have been in a better position track-wise, but I did what I had with what I had.
All right, well, great run, great improvement for you, coming back up with a decent finish. After working through some adversity early on in the race, of course, you mentioned your mistake coming out of pits, and then your miscommunication there in the final stage. Great comeback for you, working up towards the front, and great race by your team overall tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Anytime. Pete, slide job.
Slide job.
Our final driver of the night for interview. Actually, that's all of them. Sorry. Actually, it's point time, isn't it?
It is point time unless you want to talk to the team owners.
I will actually talk to them in a second. Let's do the points. I'm sure a lot of people want to know. So let's not keep them waiting too long.
Chat's going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked earlier on in the show about how it looked like PRL was going to run away with it, winning the first 2 stages, but with their drivers coming in the top 2, HRL pulled back and ended up winning the stage 3 battle. But they came home with a total of 303 points for HRL when the race win. Congrats to American Rebel for that. And PRL is going to come home with 341. So that's going to be a 38-point differential. I know there was there's probably going to be some clip submitted. It was definitely, a
Yeah.
very honored race, but that is your unofficial results. PRL moving on to the next round to the road courses. Congratulations to them. So now we're gonna do a final interview with the owners. So let's first talk to Zachary 7007. So you unofficially are moving on to the next round. How does that feel, and what are you looking forward to for the next week?
It's a relief with the disappointing finish that we had. I definitely wasn't expecting a win out of this, but definitely very very happy, very very excited. I think we will have a chance at going a little bit farther at least in this event. So we'll see. I'm proud of our guys. There was some questionable things, and I'm sure that's going to get posted. But overall, I want to say, we it was hard racing, and when it comes down to it, I don't think we would want it any other way.
Absolutely. And you are the first team so far to prove that it doesn't necessarily mean winning the race. To win the match, you got to have a strong, consistent team. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, and I want to thank HRL for being a part of this, and thank you.
Absolutely. And now our last interview of the day is Mr. Hatchman, owner of HRL. So, Mr. Hatch, unfortunately, your team, unofficially has been eliminated from the competition. You definitely fought hard. So, let us know what your final thoughts are for the competition so far.
I'd like to thank PRL first of all, and their top five guys are really quick. It's not like they weren't fast; they definitely were. It, I mean, we had a lot of instances towards the back where it was just questionable, and the amount was a little too much for my liking. But we'll talk about that later. But if assuming things stay the same way they are, I think they're going to be a hard team to beat because I don't think we were necessarily slow. I just think they were fast. So
Absolutely. You definitely put up a valiant effort. So now I'm sure a lot of the fans at home saw how fast you guys were. You definitely said you had speed, and we saw it on the track. So why don't you tell the fans at home, how they can watch you more and get in contact with you, and maybe even out there, a couple of drivers that may want to join your league. How can they join Hatch Racing?
well, first of all, we post in the Facebook group page quite a bit, try to get people into our Xfinity series. And second of all, if you have Facebook, message me, Ryan Hatch, Tim Tripler, or Joseph Wood on Facebook and ask if you want to join or ask if you can join. We'll let you run the Xfinity series probably.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. So definitely check these guys out on Facebook. They are an awesome group of guys, and we hope to see them in the next tournament. But thank you very much, and I want to final note thank the commentators tonight. You guys were awesome. Repeat, K Harvick fan, Jiram Joker. You guys did such a great job. So thank you very much for doing it. And that's good night from me.
Yeah, just one quick thing, to both Hatch um, and
Jiram.
yeah, there you go. I started out yesterday when I was talking to Slide Job about broadcasting these races. I had never heard of either of y'all's league. But I tell you what, after tonight, I definitely know about y'all. Y'all are both very good, very fast, hard driving. It was good to see you out there. Great to call the race. Thank you very much for the great show, not only for me but for everybody out there that logged into chat. At one point, we were just upwards of about 40 people rooting on each and every one of your teams. Some solo drivers, some just saying all PRL. Let's go! It was a lot of fun. I would definitely want to thank you, and if it comes down to where I'm calling the race for either of you, depending on how this all shakes out, I'm sure you'll put on just as much of a show. So thank you both, and please thank your teams for me.
If I may,
Uh,
also, real quick,
yeah, go ahead.
I want to say the same thing, kind of as Pete did. I saw a lot of passion out of both of your teams. I love seeing that on a racetrack. The will and want to win this. It was a team effort at the end of the day. So, however this shakes out, it will affect everybody. But hopefully everything works out smoothly. Nothing too major, but great fight for both sides. I love seeing that. I love seeing the will and want to win out of a team like this, especially in a team like this where every race somebody gets eliminated, and it's a shame to see in some ways because you want to see people they put time and effort into this uh, from every aspect. You want to see that. You don't want to see that kind of all for nothing. But at the end of the day, it got you guys exposure. Hopefully, you guys can grow your leagues out of all this through just people joining and finding out about you. You guys got a lot of exposure here. Um, so once again, congratulations on really putting on a great race. I know I had a lot of calling it. I had a lot of fun up here with Pete. Thank you too for letting me be up here with you. It's fun. Thank you to Slide Job and Ford and everybody who orchestrates everything here. I know it's a lot of work. I run my own league, so I can't imagine trying to kind of control what 42 of them are doing in some way, shape, or form, as well as all the other things you guys are doing. So thank you to everybody doing this.
Absolutely. And then on that note, guys, that is going to be it. Don't forget, tomorrow night, one more doubleheader. It's going to be race number 9 and number 10, starting off about 9 o'clock p.m. More information will be available on Twitch as well as the Facebook community pages. You'll have Piston Cup versus Nasbros League, 9 o'clock at Charlotte. And then I'll actually be back here tomorrow night with American Ethanol and Shake and Bake Racing right around 9:30 from Las Vegas. So, guys, please, anybody out there, don't forget, follow, subscribe if you can. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. More great green flag racing with 4 brand new communities going at it. See y'all again. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you around the track somewhere on Heat 5. Later, guys.